Yeah, hello guys. Good evening, guys. Welcome back to the Football Fan Zone with your boy Tender Banks. And guys, on this show, we're going to be talking about it's actually the Unfiltered Talks with the Mandem. And please, on this show, what we do, we talk facts. We don't beat around. We just say facts for what they are. Let me just quickly do something quickly. So, like I said, we talk the facts. We don't beat around the show. We just go into the main stuff. So now, tonight's show we've got Admiral Drake with me to discuss everything. Few guys will also be joining later. My G, Admiral, how are you doing today?
Bro, I'm alright. How you doing?
That is good. That's good to hear. Well, we have lots to discuss. We'll be looking at the fact that Julian Alvarez, future.
Yeah.
We're also be talking about the fact that Ivan Toney still no club has coming to sign him because for me, he was one player I was thinking that club were going to come for this season.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I was thinking that by now probably you already have a club in store, but that has not been the case. We are going to be looking at that. We're going to be about is now Sajim. I did not doing transfer scam here because they made everybody excited. They brought in players, and all of a sudden, it has gone quiet. And now we hearing that Harry Maguire, next of
Mm-hmm.
Casemiro are going to stay. We're also going to be talking about Gordon's being linked with Inter Milan. Is also being linked with what's it called? Uh, Newcastle.
Newcastle, yeah.
Then we were talking about what is Arsenal's chance of winning the league? Do they have the chance of winning? Because it seems as if look as if what is it called? Man City are not
Mm-hmm.
doing deals. So if they don't do deals, then it means everything will be in favor of Arsenal. If Arsenal can get one or two players into the club, so it will be in their favor to win the Premiership. Though I still believe Man City still have what it takes to win this league, even if they don't make any signings. They still have what they can do to win. Now the big one we have seen that before we went online, Manchester City have actually been charged. They've been charged with what's it called? For breaching the rules, and we're also going
Mm-hmm.
to go into that. But for now, I think we're going to kick the show off with we'll start the show off from what's it called? I want to start the show with because club was linked with the man job,
Mm-hmm.
and almost immediately, almost immediately, he actually just snubbed the job. What is your take on it? What's your take on
Yeah.
it?
Big up everybody in the chat. Yeah, you already know my name is Admiral Drex. I'm from Diop Sport and I support Manchester United. For United, he's red who's asking right there. I support Manchester
Yeah.
United. But on my channel, we talk everything football from sports to Ipswich and all the way. Now, to the question, immediately heard that Klopp was linked to it, right? I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, when I was doing, I was in the show where I was talking to one of my brethren on the show, and the guy asked me, who do I think would be a good fit for the English national team? And I said, everybody was shocked when I said it. I said my first pick would be Pochettino, right? And everybody went,
Okay.
wow, like, but then I said also Klopp. But I said I don't think Klopp will want to do the England. I don't think they were like, no, don't be too sure. I said for me, I don't think Klopp will want to come to England and manage the English national side. I think Klopp still has, if he wants to get back to coaching, he still has maybe another 4 years at club level before he would think of doing going international, right? But
Yeah.
it wasn't a surprise to me where it's that he actually snubbed. He actually turned it
The
down,
job.
and reports are having that is even looking hinting at an early retirement. So when I saw that report, he says he linking um hinting at an early retirement. It begs the question, like Banks. I hope everything is okay with this man, right? I hope because in the
Yeah.
interview he did, he was like his energy level are down. he's not feeling it anymore at the moment, which it's normal, right? Like it's
Yeah,
normal. Some people they do the same job week in, week out, day in, day out, year in, year out. They get to a point of like, I'm just doing this thing just not because I like to do it anymore. It's because maybe it's an end to a means, right? An end to a means.
yeah,
So maybe another challenge somewhere, something different from football, maybe into teaching or something, sports education, or something
yeah,
might
yeah,
bring
yeah, yeah, yeah.
back. But I feel like I just hope like, I hope this guy is okay in terms of um you know what I mean,
Health
mentally,
wise.
physically, and
Yeah,
all of
yeah, I understand,
it. So
understand.
yeah,
Mentally and everything.
that being said, I wasn't surprised. The one that actually got me surprised a little bit is this Eddie Howe, the Howe snob in England. Like United is red saying right there. How the way I wouldn't be a perfect. I wouldn't think you said it would be perfect. He can solve Eddie Howe would be perfect for England if they were going to play what's his name? Gareth Southgate actually was playing the Eddie Howe type of football, right? But Eddie Howe is the master of that type of
Yeah.
football, the low
Hmm.
block and the counter attack. Eddie Howe is perfect for that, right?
Yeah.
He does have a few trick off his sleeve here or there, but I believe Eddie Howe is like that. But is that what England want at this time? I don't think so, right? I think England want to
I don't
play a
think so.
more expansive kind of football. With the talents that they have, I feel like they should be playing
Hmm.
more expansive type of football, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah. So for me, it's I'm a little bit surprised about for the Eddie Howe, but for the club, I wasn't because I didn't think he had it or he would want to go in there for the first time.
And when it comes to what's his name, Eddie Howe, I think Newcastle have come outside to play down that top because Newcastle have said there's a project going on and they want Eddie Howe to be done with that project. So I don't see Eddie Howe being there. And I agree with you. I think if England really wants a coach, it does not have to be an England manager. It does not have to be from England. I believe the likes of what's his name, Mauricio Pochettino. I agree with you. I think he's perfect for the job. Pochettino will be perfect for the job. But I guess we just have to just wait and see
Hmm.
um, if he gets to take the job or not. But I believe he's going to be um, the perfect candidate for that job. He will be the perfect candidate for that job.
And don't
But moving on,
forget,
guys, we're going
yeah,
to
go
move on
ahead.
to.
Yeah,
Okay,
I was gonna
want
say,
to say
don't
something?
forget that he has a
Go
way.
ahead.
He has a way with the youth, right? Especially when the young ones, he has a way of molding them. So, and I don't think they've been to the semi-final of the Euros in two yeah, more like back to back,
Twice.
right? Yeah, so they
Yeah.
need somebody
Yeah.
to take them over the edge. Now that's where the question comes in: does Poch have what it takes to just push them over the edge, right?
Hmm.
Time it's only if he gets the job, we might find out then. But for me, I think, in my opinion, maybe.
And another thing again, Pochettino is like something. There are some managers that are good for just club football, and there are some that are
Yes,
good for national
yes,
team football.
yes, yes, yes.
So I don't really think Poch will be it. You know, I think he will be good, but I don't think he will have it in him because when you are a manager for a national team, it's not about style of play. It's about man the way you're able to
Put the team
build
together.
that
Yeah,
team,
yeah.
put the team together, just like what De La Fuente did. De La Fuente, like when you look at what Spain did, we
Hmm.
know Spain used to be tiki taka, but De La Fuente did not do that.
No,
There was good football, but he played more of traditional football whereby you had the likes of Nico Williams and Lemmy Yamal, always making the run, beating defenders, wingers, and
let's give them on the
defenders.
break. Yeah,
And that's what he did. And he knew how to do it, and he was successful at it. So sometimes it's not about the style of play, like people will say, guys, Southgate. It's
hmm.
not about what are you able to do,
Do with what
but
you have.
why I blame guys Southgate is that is the fact that he just kept people on the bench and kept playing people whereby they are showing it to you that they are tired, they are not in for it, but keep playing them anyway. And that's one thing you just, it's too pragmatic for me. But
Oh
moving
yes.
on, guys.
Hmm.
Harry Maguire and Casemiro are going to stay. Seems they are going to stay. They are staying, man, because no club is coming in for, for these guys. I know the only people Manchester United were expecting, or the player they were expecting, everybody were expecting they will come for was Casemiro.
Hmm.
And at some point, Saudi Arabia came for Casemiro, but I guess they failed to actually, agreed on the price. What
I I
would you
still
say now?
I
Yeah,
still
continue, go on.
I still feel like if for the Casemiro one, I still feel like the window is not shut yet. There might be some twist at the end of the window where we could see some of these guys coming in and all of that. But if Casemiro stays, I wouldn't really have a problem with it. Now, the only reason why I would not have a problem with it is if we further bolster the squad, like the midfield department, right? Maybe
Mhm.
you're gonna talk about it. You're gonna touch on it soon. We already know that one deal has been done with PSG, so that might trigger the move of maybe an Ugarte coming in. Yesterday there
Yeah,
was making around was Zubamendi talks and all of that, right? So if we get another midfielder in, right, then the thing is United need to get personnel in that can play the manager style of football, not a situation where we get like, for example, now Harry Maguire. If Harry Maguire stays and let's say there's an injury to the back, the starting centre back, we by default we know we
yeah.
can play on the high line. So playing Casemiro with
Mhm.
so there's going to be a gap between the defense and the midfield if Casemiro is playing with
Yeah,
that
the
pair.
midfield.
Yeah. So such that
Yeah,
it now makes Casemiro looks exposed. And Casemiro, knowing fully well that these guys don't have the legs, and he himself don't really have the legs, right, to cover the ground. So he would want to more like protect the back line, the center back. So that's the disconnect. That's the space you see between Casemiro and the attacking
yeah,
midfielders and Bruno, right? So
yeah,
whereas you
yeah.
start
True.
seeing someone like Maino, or if it's Maimsi
Mhm.
Mount, you start seeing them doing more like free roll, but it's not the disjointedness in that midfield will be so obvious, right? So, but
Yeah, true, true.
if you get a center back that can play a high line, meaning that Casemiro can push higher further, now closing that gap. So
Mhm.
Casemiro is more closer to the attackers and the central midfielders
Yeah,
than he's more
yeah,
stayed glued to the center back who are playing a very low block. So
yeah.
we have
True.
to wait and see how they do go about it, because if you also get like an inverted fullback, right, and in the person like we have Dalot, and there's reports saying that Mazarawi United have agreed terms with Mazarawi.
True.
Also, I'm also thinking that they would look at the left back position and see how they could get a deal done, because we cannot rely solely on Luke Shaw. But let's say
Looks
Luke Shaw
no,
is
no, no.
100% fit the next coming into the next season. So you have that could also help Casemiro, because you'd have two of them, Dalot, not both of them at the same time, but if one is surging forward, then the other one can actually go in the midfield, now giving a support to Casemiro. We know that, okay, you have your two centre back and you have your Casemiro and the inverted fullback, be it Luke Shaw or be it Dalot. So it's then your wingers know that, okay, if they beat them, they have to drop deep, right? They have to drop to come back into the midfield, whereas the fullback take their position. So there's always bodies in the midfield, right? But for
Yeah,
Maguire saying he wants to stay, it's all down to poor planning. Not today, not with this
yeah,
regime,
yeah.
with the previous regime.
No, no, no. From the
His
Glazers,
wages,
man.
his wages is a big
Yeah,
problem. His wage, I mean, is a big problem. So anybody that wants to take Harry Maguire off United at this very minute is like saying, okay, you know what? What's the asking price? We're asking for 25 m's. Okay. Harry Maguire, what wages are you on? £190,000 per week. Bro, we can't give you that. You and our CEO would be you end up being our CEO, right? So
wow.
how about we make a deal with United where United actually have to pay, which was what West Ham was doing last season, right? Where United have
Yeah,
to.
that was, I don't know why they didn't hit that deal, man.
But the thing is, if
Take
it
the
was
30
this
million
guy,
and
no,
give
no,
him
no.
Harry
If it was
Maguire.
these guys that are currently the Omer Baradas, if it was this current structure
Yeah, yeah,
that were in place last season, I feel like I have a strong conviction that they would have done the deal. They would have said, okay, you know what? Oh, you're offering, is it 5 million? So they'll factor in everything and get that deal done, because like they're doing with Aaron Bissaka at the moment, right? Aaron Bissaka
Yeah,
is the third highest paid right back in the league. West Ham knows that if they get that guy, they're gonna be forking out some good money for him, right? So
yeah, true.
so United have to come to a compromise where they be like, okay, we have to bite the bullet in terms of the transfer fee and do it
Hmm.
some way that okay, we're we're not more like in the word in quote and unquote subsidizing what West Ham would have to pay in wages to the player. So it's all
Yeah,
so we like they see, like I said, the window is still we still have until the end of August, right? So let's see what anything could happen in this transfer window. But if both of them stay, like I always tell my friends and my people, it won't be the end of the world. It's just we just have to live with it one more season. It
and
is
it
what
will be
it is.
over.
Yes.
And it will be over. And United is red is asking who can replace Madrid manager. Well, I think there are few people that can replace Madrid manager, but I think there's only one person Madrid will be looking into bringing in as a manager for Madrid. I think it's Xabi Alonso. I think so. I don't think there's any manager out there. Drex? Do you think there's any manager out there they can go for if they don't get
Madrid
Xabi
will
Alonso?
De La Fronte. Madrid might if push comes to shove, Madrid might tap him up. If push comes to
Really?
shove, Madrid might if they really want, because Madrid are not scared to hire and fire.
Yeah, true, true. Then I know
So
they
they
are
are not
good at it.
scared. So they know that if De La Fonte is open to it, don't be. I wouldn't even be surprised if someone like Jurgen Klopp is open to the idea of.
Yeah, yeah. I
So
won't
they
be
have.
surprised.
I know Pep will not take over, but no,
No, no, probably
the
not. But I
what's
think,
the
yeah, I
president
think
of Real Madrid? What's his name? Perez might not
Perez.
even entertain
No,
that
I
idea,
don't
but
think so. I don't think
mhm.
so. But I think Klopp
Yeah,
is a
Red
big
is
shout
saying
out as
Xabi
well.
Alonso
Klopp
as
is a
well.
big shout out.
Xabi Alonso
Yeah,
as well.
Xabi Alonso and Klopp. That's it, and that's why I think. Now he says here, I think he's saying something about Luke Shaw. He says Luke Shaw is the best
Eh,
left back in the world
Look
if he's fully
sure,
fit.
look sure. See, brother, United is red. I'll tell you something, right? When you look at an attribute of a player, right, availability also should be considered as well. So
True.
Luke Shaw is a good left back, right? The word you said is the best left back. I wouldn't really put it like that, but Luke Shaw is a good left back, right? If he stays fit, 100%. He understands the Manchester United. Luke Shaw understands what is expected of a United player. He understands that. Now, like I said, availability is actually an attribute as well. So if we
Yeah,
don't
true.
get Luke Shaw, there are players that we could actually get that will still supplement and complement the team. You could go to Barcelona if they are willing to do a deal and get Bade. You could go to Girona and get Gutierrez. There's even the kid from is it Feyenoord, the player from Feyenoord,
Yeah,
Hakin.
Akpok.
Hakon. So you could there are players that you could get, right? So like you rightly said, I agree to an extent with you in terms of he is a good left back, right? But I
Mhm.
don't think I will agree with you when you say the left back, best left back in the world, because guess what? If you the condition you're stating there is if he's fully fit, and we all know he's not fully fit, that in itself takes away that argument for me that he's not the best left back in the world. But he's a good player.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong.
yeah. He's a
I
decent
like Luke
player.
Shaw. He's a good player,
He's a
but
decent player.
in 2024, I will not be starting Luke Shaw. He will be on my bench.
And if there are two players, I don't know. There was at first there were talks of Gutierrez. Manuel were looking at Gutierrez. I don't know what stopped them
Um,
from going for him
It it could
because I
be
believe
just
if they went
everything
for him,
quiet now.
you could have get him for cheap. You could have get him for cheap. And Kadioglu from Turkey, he plays for Fenerbahce. At some
Yeah,
point, they were going for the guy as well.
that's why I said the window is still open. I think
Hmm.
they're focusing now on the outgoings, right? Because Banks, I'll give you a scenario now, right? Your house is full with furnitures, right? And
Hmm.
good, not the best of furnitures, but furnitures that okay, you could still take for another year, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
your partner is telling you we need to change some of these furnitures, right? And you're open to the idea, right? You've looked at some and say, okay, I could actually bring these two in, right now with all of these furnitures, we could bring this in and we could place it somewhere. No, but there
Yeah.
are some that you know that, bro, there won't be room if I bring in another furniture, right?
Yeah.
And you are looking like, this one I have in the house, I could still recoup some good amount of rand from this thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, if I
True.
get somebody that will come and take this thing from me from good amount of rands, right? You've not gotten to the point of I'm going to give this thing for free. You're still
Yeah.
you're still on the verge of, okay, I can still get some good rands for this thing, right? Now, but you're saying, okay, leave that aside, right? Let me try to work on selling some of these important furnitures that I know can fetch me good money. So such that if I don't sell the other ones and I'm going to let it go for free, I'm not really, quote unquote, I'm not really
Yeah.
bothered.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah. I
think that
understand.
I think that's what United are trying to do now. Sell the ones that actually could give them profit, give them like the Wan-Bissaka that's almost closed, the
Yeah.
the Lindelof that's almost closed. Report has it that it's almost closed. Which other person that we're looking at? McTominay is almost.
Max
We
Tomlin, yeah.
I read a report earlier today that saying Fulham is looking to considering 30 million to. That's their third bid, right? That would be their third bid. So these are players that if you move out, so now then you can start focusing on, okay, who do I now? I have some cash in my hand. Oh yeah, let's go and get some of those furnitures that you were talking about, right? We're going to
Yeah.
prioritize. Okay, what are we doing? Are we doing this? Are we doing that? We could kick this one out, get one on some new furniture in, and if nobody comes to take it, we might as well just look for
It's
somebody
fine.
and give them for free. It's fine. You
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I understand.
so it's. I
And the
think
likes
it's
of
just. Go ahead.
and Mazuri now is a player that can play as a left back as well. But so maybe for now,
Mhm.
he can play as a left back. You can maybe you will play as a left back for now. So
Mhm.
maybe that's what Manchester United
Oh,
are looking to
Mazzari
do.
is, yeah. It's he, like you rightly said, he's a versatile fullback who could play left, who could play right, and we saw what Eric Ten Hag tried to do with Dalot last season. Even Aro Wan-Bissaka tried to make them versatile in terms of you could play right, you could play left, right. But for Wan-Bissaka, we all saw the shortcomings. He really could not do it, cut it out at the left. Dalot was fine at the left, but if you're not going to get, like we just stated now, if you're not going to get the left back, if you're not going to let
Mhm.
go of those furnitures, you might as well just get a furniture that if you put anywhere you put it in the house,
Yeah.
it's fine. For optics, for aesthetics, for beautification, in terms of the furnitures now, it is fine, right? So you
Yeah.
might as well want to get something like that. So I mean, in my opinion, I know some United fans are a little bit like, yo, just two signings and everywhere's gone cold.
Yeah.
I would not. I would tell you
Yeah.
guys, just calm down. They might be working behind the scene. We might get a boom, boom, boom in terms of outgoings and incomings,
From,
right? So,
from Fabrizio Romano.
mhm. so
From
it's
Fabrizio.
it's big up, my guy, Arinze, I believe Arinze Chi.
Arinzechi. No, so you're
Yeah,
welcome.
thank you very much for having me, guys. I feel so happy to be part of the team today. I just love listening from the background because I believe we have so many believers, Man United
Yeah.
fans who are believers, who believe in the process of Eric Ten Hag. But I want
Yeah.
to bust their bubble a bit.
Okay,
There is
go
no
on.
process. That guy has
Okay.
got no process, man. I watch them play. I'm still trying to find their identity. Yeah, I quite agree with you that they will get some incomings and some outgoings. But let me be sincere with you. Which of the Eric Ten Hag signings has been magnificent for Manchester United? And I'll
I,
show that
I,
to
I
my very good friend. Please help me. Then I'll sum up my thoughts in maybe in 2 minutes. But which of the signing do you think has been absolutely gone blazing that was bought by no other than Eric Ten Hag?
for me, I would say Drex. For me, if I want to say mention one, I'll say what's his name? Lisandro Martinez. Just that he has been injured. For me, I would say Lisandro Martinez.
Okay.
I don't
What
know.
about you,
Drex. Drex.
Okay,
Greg?
in Eric Ten Hag's first season, I could tell you, Lisandro Martinez, obviously, what's his name? The other guy, the one we got for free. Malasia was okay. What's the guy we
Until
got
he
for
got
free?
injured.
Okay.
What's the guy we got for free from Brentford? Ericsson.
Uh,
Ericsson
Ericsson.
was okay until Andy Carroll put his foot through his ankle and took him out. Eriksen was
Yeah.
very instrumental in that first season for Erik Ten Hag. Now, skip that. Now, go to the next season. Onana wasn't so great, right? Because of
Hmm.
we all saw the disruption.
Okay.
And Rasmus, who was playing in his first season in a Premier League side, in a Premier League team, who did not even manage to get, he carved up most of his goals all by himself. The service to him was a little bit sketchy if we want to if we want to be honest with ourselves. Um, and he
Okay.
was able to get in all competition was the 16 goals in all goals and assists in all competition. For me, in my opinion, that for a young kid, because a lot of people tend to think because he's big and all of that, is super old, right? Or is very mature, but he's a young kid, right? So for me, it's still fair enough, right? And yeah, that so for me, it's more like he's got Anthony did well in his first season. Second season not so great
Did
because of all
he?
of those.
Did
Yeah,
he?
he did well in his first season.
Did
Yeah.
He
he?
did well in
Based on coming into Premier League at first, you don't expect him to just click and just adapt to it. And he
See,
did
um
well in the first season.
there's something about the Man United factor, Drex, and you know what I'm talking
mhm,
about. You
mhm.
see, when Man United used to play of old, they were impeccable, they were untouchable, they were in a world of their own.
Arinze, sorry to pause you there. What you use the word I like so much right now, Man United of old. Underline that word and put it
Exactly.
in
Don't The question
uppercase.
is, don't Man United want to return to that place where they're coming from?
Arinze, yes, they want to,
Because
but don't forget that 10
okay,
years of
do you
mismanagement.
now the question is this now. Do you think that Etin Hag can be that pilot to tilt you towards the right direction of getting back to where you ought to be and where you have to be?
Yes, I do think that he can do that with the right structure in place.
How many years does he need to do that?
In his first year, he took us from the worst Premier League side. We all saw what happened in the area in that year where they sacked Ole and got Ralf Ragnick and they just bullshit Ralf Ragnick, right? We all saw what happened, and a lot of people did not
Lana
give him
mafani
chance.
lespita, mitte
He ended
khotmani.
up finishing third, and he won a Carabao Cup. Now, a lot of people said, "Oh, that was good." Now, going into the next season, which for me was his own Achilles heel, because if he had not done that great in his first season, not much would have been expected from him in the second season. But it was, I don't like to use this as an excuse, but I'll put it out there. It was rocked with
Oh, your Man
injuries
United.
and the off-field antics that were happening, but he still managed to salvage the season. Last season, for me, in my opinion, was not a good season. Let's be honest about that. Last
Hmm.
season was not a good season, but we still managed to find ourselves into the Europa League, right? By going against the odds and winning Man City.
See,
Not so if you're talking about how much time does he need, right? Now that we have the structure, because
yeah.
what I like to tell people is you don't just the same way we built success over the years in with Sir Alex, right? We've ruined that success over in the last 10 to 12 years also under the Glazers regime. So you don't expect 10
Now
years of
let me come in from here now. Let me come in from here. You see, I'm not a Man United fan, but I think from feel as I get from Man United fans, I think watching Man United play is excruciating. It's really difficult as a fan to watch Man United play because
last
there
season
is
or
no
the season
structure,
before.
there is no plan. Last season,
Okay.
and for a coach who has been there, you should expect a moving forward.
Okay.
It should be better than the last season because we all said, oh, it's the first season. He's just the first season. It's not too bad. Blah blah blah. And then we get in the next season, and it became worse, bro. See, Man United fans are just trying to be
Do you?
optimistic,
No, no, no.
but they
It's
know
not
it
about.
from.
It's okay. Let me tell you the ones that are trying to be optimistic because I'm in that bracket as well. I'm in that train as well. We are being optimistic because in the last 10 years, without a footballing structure, we know what has happened to our football club. Imagine, take this for example. Let me give you a
Okay.
case study. Would you, as a football CEO, director of football, would you offer Aaron Wan-Bissaka, right? You said you scouted a whole number of players right back, and you ended up with Aaron Wan-Bissaka, right? Who we know is
Mm-hmm.
not 100% fit enough to play, right? For the football club. Would you be giving that person, would you be making that person the third highest right back in the league? He earns more than Alexander-Arnold. Would you be doing that? Would you be giving a Maguire? Would you be giving an Harry Maguire £190,000 a week? Would you be giving a Jadon
I
Sancho?
won't even do that. I won't even do that. I won't do that in my sleep, not in my
Okay,
dreams. But it's
beautiful.
Man United, and that's it.
I cut
That's
cap
where
for
they
you,
are.
brother. Bros, I cut cap for you for that statement, right? But now people did it.
Yeah.
People spent. Now they were telling our CEO that time, bro, invest in the squad. Man was looking to get players that could sell shirts.
I don't have sound.
So how do you balance the commercial side, and how do you focus on the commercial side and ignore the footballing side, who tends to bring the light on the commercial side? So that is why most of us, we are not saying that Erik ten Hag is a superstar. We are saying that under a right structure, we saw what Erik ten Hag could do under the right structure in terms of Ajax, right?
Okay.
Now we are saying that, okay,
Okay.
last season when people were crying to kick the manager out, right? We were saying, okay, this season is not so great, right? But do we kick the manager out and paper over the cracks by bringing in new person that would give a lot of these players another chance? We've seen another chance over and over and over again. When is another chance going to end for some of these players? We want people that could come in and clear the deadwood and put things, bro. I'm telling you now, Arinze. If they wake up tomorrow morning and say, okay, they don't want Erik ten Hag, they want him to go, bro, I won't share the tears. It won't break my heart. Because guess what? I can sleep with both of my eyes closed, knowing fully well that I have footballing people that are taking over the footballing side of my football club. Unlike last time, I was having insomnia, bro. I couldn't sleep. Even when we are winning, I couldn't sleep, bro, because it's a case of you don't know what can happen tomorrow. Bro, let me give you a case in study.
True.
We were quoted. I will pass the mic now. I will pass the ball. We were quoted. We wanted to buy Anthony from Ajax, right? They gave us what's his name? Ole valued. Where's the echo coming from?
What's his name? There's
an echo coming from somewhere.
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, we were quoted.
There's an echo coming out.
Okay, maybe it's time. Okay, we were quoted. Ole valued Anthony for £25 million, right? We were quoted 40 when we went to him, or went to Ajax to get him. 40 or 50.
I think the top guy in the lab. Hold on a bit, please. Hold on a bit, Derek. I think the fourth guy on the live is where the echo is coming from. The fourth guy, and it seems there's a lot of echo coming from his end.
You might want to mute Tammy.
Okay. You might want to mute Tammy.
Wait, let me see something. There's the echo.
Derek, you can go ahead.
Vank, you sure it's not you?
There's the echo.
I'm not sure it's not me.
I see why. The
echo is anyway. I'm in a very quiet space.
The echo is from the back. Tell me it's on the back side, so it's going to be echoing from your side. But I don't think Arinze can hear him. I don't think those in the chat can hear him. Okay, I was saying that they valued him at. They offered us for 40. They said, okay, come take him for 40 M's. Right? My team, Arnold and Moto ran. They said it was too much. Right? They said the price was too much. Right? Now, why would you now go back at the end of the season to go and pay an 80 million? For a player you said was too much for you. So now make it make sense to me.
Yeah.
Now, if there was getting too much.
Honey?
Tammy is no more on the backstage.
Okay.
It's better now.
I took him out.
It's better now. Go ahead. Now there's more calm and quiet. So go ahead.
Okay. So no. So I could stay here. So let me
Where's it coming from?
I don't know where it's coming from.
Go ahead.
So Arinze, so the thing is, it's a case of people that don't know what they were doing, right? When we're taking charge, we're taking responsibility. Now, one could argue that the Glazers have their own share to play because they couldn't put people down that could control. Right? They didn't have an idea what's happening. As long as there's profit for them, now, so for me, take away the old, right? We've gotten something new in terms of structure of people that know what they're doing. Right? Let's see what they can do. Am I saying that they will get everything 100%? Hell no. But they are specialists in what they are doing. You could see that they brought in.
But anyway, I think it's gonna be a big season for Erik ten Hag. It could be a make or match season. Forget about the 2-year contract given to him. It could be a make or match season for him.
They did
not
not
give him a long.
They did not give him 2 years contract. They just extended. They just extended his contract because United have an option to 1 more year. That's what they triggered.
Exactly.
So by so doing, Arinze, if you want to actually look at it from a neutral point of view, leaving all the bias, you will see that these guys in themselves don't want to make the mistake that the past have made.
But so you believe that these guys can turn the tide.
Oh.
But what you are saying is you're not sure it's going to be this season.
Bro, the only thing I have is hope. And if you take that hope away from me in terms of how we're going as a football club, then I'm no more United fan.
Tamba, can you hear that? They have hope.
Yeah,
they're saying hope, man.
I can hear that loud and clear. I can hear what you say loud and clear.
So this is what it is, man. So like I said, it's a lot of questions than answers for Man United. Just like the signing, they got a new player in Lenny Yoro. The guy is in crutches right now. I wonder how long he'll be out. So he's just not adding up at the moment. So I don't know. How does this work with Man United? He's not smiling at you guys at all. I thought that guy was a pretty signing, a good signing, and then voila, he hits the doctor's office as early as he comes in.
No.
Really sad.
If you watch that game, you can tell that he went into a challenge. The Arsenal player got into a challenge and they closed his ankle, right? So, and he's 18 years old or 19 years old. He's a kid. He will come off very soon.
Let's hope so. We said so for Malacia, and the boy right now has a back pain.
Malacia.
Hopefully he doesn't come back and get a broken knee.
No, Malacia.
Go ahead.
That was a case of surgery gone wrong. And they had to.
Let's just hope this is not a case of a broken.
No.
Tell me, you're laughing. I want to hear what you have to say. You just having problems, And
you know what? One thing about the whole thing is that with an ag for me, I've been saying it for a very long time. But I guess right now, every Manchester United fan right now, he's going to stay or leave. It is by this season. But for me, I watched the preseason match. Despite the fact they lost, for me, it's just preseason. But what I was looking for was what they were doing. Are they playing well? Those were something I was actually looking forward to. And I did not get it. I didn't see it. And if there's something I will fault Ten Hag for, that will be thing. That was okay. This guy is not doing anything. Honestly, if there's something I would just blame Ten Hag for, that's one thing I was okay. He's not doing anything. He's not progressing the team or what this and that. But aside that, everything else,
So what
he's
you're
trying.
saying is this:
Honestly,
that the team is not progressing with Eric Ten Hag. Is what you're saying?
no, I'm not saying there's a possibility that Ten Hag might be the one for them. I just believe they need to back him up. Now, this is when I have to focus on him. Tammy, what do you have to say? Tammy,
Hello.
Tani, welcome.
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
We can hear you loud and clear.
Welcome. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, no, I can hear you.
Oh, finally. I'm just struggling with my
We can
network.
hear
I'm
you
so
fine.
sorry.
Apologies, bro. Don't worry, these things happen. You'll be fine. Go ahead.
Are we still conversating? Are we still talking about Man United?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm a Liverpool fan, and I really have a problem with Man United throughout. But I think the structure of the club, the sporting directors, aside from the manager, but I think the sporting director, the skeleton of the club is really off. I'll say this because look at a player like Anthony was such a hire, very expensive, did no contribution to the club, and there's nothing that the coach can do for Anthony. You can see with his dribbling, him rotating with the ball. I don't think the coach wants that kind of a player, and a player that can change the game. I think structurally wise, the sporting directors, the people that scout players, the new defender's just injured recently. So I just think the club is not well put together
now.
from the background. I don't think the club is well put together.
Yeah, I think
that's what I believe
actually.
in with Man United.
It was known, so yeah.
It was Arinze. Yeah. Okay.
Tammy, we can hear you though.
Okay, you said the structure right now is better. Can you hear Tammy?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you said something about.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Arinze, it was you all along. The echo was coming from you.
Maybe but my camera freezed, so I had to reload it.
Okay. So Tammy now is saying that the structure right now for the United team right now is a better structure. And if it's the same thing I'm saying, I was saying the same thing because we have been using structure as an excuse for Ten Hag failing. But there's one comment United is Red said here, which is the most important thing. He says something here, which is we have more trophy than Arsenal and Liverpool and Chelsea and Dortmund, Barca in the last 2 seasons. They are bragging. You know how United fan is. So for me, we just have to just watch Ten Hag this season and see what he's all about. This is the season to
brother, I'm not watching anything. I have the tape.
Can I ask a question?
I told you this tip. Sorry, Tani. Sorry, Tani, for a moment. I told you before he was given a new contract, he will get a contract. Didn't I say so? But he will be put out before the end of December. I do not trust the Eric Ten Hag plan.
No,
I think the future of Man United is safe in the hands of the Indians.
My question is:
I think the future of Man United is safe in the hands of the Indians, the new stakeholders, but not with Eric Ten Hag. And I buy the same optimism of Derek's, but the truth remains, man, that Eric Ten Hag, there's a lot of questions and answers. Like you said, I love what you said, Timber. I watched them play. I'm trying to find what's the style, what's the culture, what are they looking up to, what's the plan. Is there really a plan? But let's wait. This is so far from here. It's just a few weeks ago. A few weeks from here.
My question I want to ask to Arinze, right? It's during Ole's time, was there a clear-cut style of play? During
yes, it was.
Okay, good.
Oh yes, it was.
Okay. So why? What is so infuriating about Ten Hag? What's the thing that Ten Hag is doing that infuriates you so much that you just feel like nah? Because you said he's gonna be sacked by
December.
December, but the truth
December,
is
I'm being modest.
the contract he
I'm being
has,
modest.
the contract that he has, right, states that he won't get. He has a full year to do whatever he wants to do.
Wow.
So whilst you're waiting
On
for
And
the
that's
him
what
to
I'm
job.
get,
saying. Depends on what result is.
no, even go
It depends on what result is churning out.
depending on the result they said, he's got a full year to do what he wants to do.
Man United cannot sit in the second half of the table. See, Man United cannot live in the second half of the
We will
table and not fire
there's
him. You have to
obviously
pay
we
him
will
off.
not be in the second
See,
half of the table.
there are two sets of. No, I'm not saying. See, never say never with anything hard go. Where was he before he started winning games last season? Remember? It was very bad. I think it was towards the ending that Man United began to climb up the
No,
table.
then you do.
See,
Then
never
at
say
one
never.
point
See,
we were
there
fifth,
are two.
at sixth. We ended up finishing eighth because we got into a run of
Yes,
games here.
and
So
then
when
you, exactly.
when you say all of these things, it
So,
makes people
what I'm
people
saying is
that
this:
didn't watch the
there are
season will
two
say,
sets of managers.
Also, wait.
Derek,
Let him let him land. Let him
Derek,
land.
there are two sets of managers. The managers that have been sacked and the one that are about to be sacked. Simple. That's the only two type of managers that we have in the world. Nobody's beyond. See, if Pep Guardiola begin to turn out wrong results for like 3 straight months, I'm telling you, man, still forget that this guy was impeccable, and they will show him the exit door. With all the things that Arsenal, as Wenger had done to Arsenal, they knew when to tell him, "Thank you very much. This is where the cookie crumbles, and let's move on to the next one." So football is
have they
a
won the Premier League
result-oriented
since they
game.
did that? Have they won the Premier League since they did that?
But are they in
No.
a better place than they were when they left as a Wenger?
Are you
The
serious?
answer is yes.
As a winger always
The answer
took
is
them.
yes.
No. As a winger always ensured that these
No.
guys were in the
No.
Champions League year
He
in,
did
year
not
out.
take them to the Champions League in his last 2 seasons.
And he was not
He did
spending the
not take them
money
in the
Adeta
Champions
is
League in the last
spending.
two seasons.
Was he spending fire like the way
Oh no,
Ateta
the
spent?
club is to return back. No, see, I want to say something. See, during the Arsene Wenger era was in the building era. Now Arsenal fans are tired of hearing stories, and that is why when I told Temba, Temba,
But you
you
guys
will
are
know
hearing stories about
Fuse.
Adeta.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
I think
And
we
I
get.
tell you that Ateta's time is numbered. He may think he has the support of the. Then sometimes Arsenal fans are very cruel. At some point, the building will stop. They will stop telling you, please stop building. Let's have results. We can't be building for. How can you build a house for 10 years? What kind of structure are you building? You know,
So wait,
that's the truth. They see.
Can I ask?
Go ahead.
Can I
Yeah,
ask
go on. Go
how
on,
long?
Sammy, go on.
How long has Ten Hag? How long has Ten Hag been a coach of Man United, and how long has Arteta been the coach of Arsenal?
Arsenal.
Ateta has been longer, but let me say too.
For like
Ateta bought himself
5
some
years.
time. Ateta bought himself some time. In his first season, he won something. In his second season, he won something. And that is what is keeping Eric Ten Hag. The fact that he won the FA Cup last season, I'm telling you, if he did not win the FA Cup last season, Eric
That's
Ten
what
Hag
he's
would have
saying,
been
bro.
old news, bro.
No, but
Old news, bro.
Arinze, hear yourself now. Ateta bought himself some time in his first season.
Yeah,
And finally, he won.
his first 2 seasons.
What else did he buy? What else did he win after the FA Cup? What else has he won?
He won the FA Cup. He won the Community Shield the next season. And
Community Shield is
Community
not.
Shield
It's
is
now
trophy.
time to
It's
buy
not
you a
trophy.
oh
time.
yes, you can see that he bought himself some time. It was like a winning streak. I think his calamity began when he started having issue with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang,
So okay,
and
now
then they had to let him go.
okay. Let me go with your logic now, right? Let me go with your logic. Ateta bought himself a
Now
time
work with
with
me, but
yeah.
work with me, work
Wait,
with me.
let me work with
Wait,
you
wait.
now.
No,
Ateta
so
bought himself some
wait.
time. Wait, Ateta bought himself some time, right? After he won the
Yeah,
FA Cup and he won the Community Shield,
yeah,
and he got the time that he got
exactly.
and spent almost close to almost if not 820 million M's, right? But Ten Hag won Carabao Cup his first season, won FA Cup the second season, needs to be kicked out
Are
of
you
the
there,
football club. And don't forget,
Derek?
Ateta has had football people that have been working behind the scene for him. So for Ten Hag,
He's
by
talking.
winning two
Wait.
trophy back to back, from your logic, we should give Ten Hag another 5 years to do whatever he wants to do.
That's what I'm saying. But
Trent, can I
unfortunately,
answer that question?
Arsenal is not Arsenal. Man United is not Arsenal. No, let me take you back to the time
that's
when
what I wanted
Oliver
to say.
Solskjaer finished second. When Oliver Solskjaer finished second, remember, and everybody said the next season Man United was going to compete. They're going to have a go at Manchester City. That this was their year. They finally broken the jinx. They've broken that bridge. They're there. And then all of a sudden, we started singing Edovai. You know, becoming a lullaby. Remember, Temba? So they first started singing lullabies. And they had to, of all the good works of Oliver Solskjaer, they had to sing him the exit song. See, and Ten Hag just bought himself one more season. I'm telling you,
moving on,
if
because
he does not think, because
if we continue about
if
Ten
he
Hag,
does not make it, if he does not end it this season, he must end his slot this season. If he does not end it, I tell you, the Unos who were singing, see, the reason that Ten Hag got that job because there was no other offer. Derek, if you were a coach with a reputable CV, you would have been coaching Man United by now. But unfortunately, you're not a coach, and they also want to be there, so they have to let Ten Hag stay put. They got a better offer, he would have been gone.
I disagree
Long
with
gone.
you because they actually interviewed Roberto De Zerbi and Thomas Tuchel, who both of them they didn't
They
find.
didn't want the job.
No. They gave you PRO and you're running with
They didn't
PRO. On the
want
other
the
side,
job.
on the other side of the
They
on the
came
other
out
side
and
of
said
the fence, on the
they came
other
out and said they don't want the job.
they said
They
that
forget it.
that's what
no,
you
no,
tend
no,
to believe.
so
I tend to
no,
believe
so
that they found them not fit enough for the project that they people, the structure in quote and unquote, want to put in place. So those two managers didn't fit what they were
Okay.
looking for. That's it.
Okay, wait. Can
one
I
thing,
ask?
one thing,
Temba, let me
Temba,
So
fall.
wait.
Cammy,
Temba,
go on.
let me
what I
fall.
don't understand is
Temba,
this. Yeah,
can I ask,
go on, Tammy.
gentlemen?
Go ahead.
So with like I was saying as well, you must understand the pressure behind Ten Hag and Arteta is different pressures, because Man United and their history is the pressure for him is much higher than Arteta. You know, the club Arsenal is okay with a
Preach on,
trophy,
Tony.
even though
Preach on.
it's a domestic trophy, or it's because Champions League, forget, they're never going to win it. But with the what's this domestic league tournaments, FA, Carabao Cup, the league, they okay. That's how their history was built. But Man United
From A to
history is
Z.
built behind Champions League, competing in Champions League, being dominant in Champions League and the league at the same time. So Ten Hag's pressure is much higher than Arteta's pressure. That's what I believe, because you must understand, it also took Jurgen Klopp a good 5 seasons or 4 seasons, if I'm not mistaken, for him to actually compete for the league and chase Man City for 3 years in a row to actually win the league once and win the Champions League once. You know, so and I can understand the pressure behind Ten Hag is really, really higher than Arteta's pressure.
And the fan base as
It's
well.
much more stronger than Arteta's
I want you
pressure.
guys, I want you guys
The fan base are loyal old white Man United fans.
Give Tammy, right? Give Tammy the panelist of the month. What he just said, right? A lot, even some of the United fans, they don't reason it like that. I'm not disrespect to any football club, no disrespect to Arsenal or anything. Some of my United fans don't reason it out like that. Some of them just feel like they need something to brag about just because their mate is telling them, "Oh, you got whooped yesterday." They forget to see what's been happening at the football club. For some reason, they just go numb of the poorly run state of the football club and just pin it on the manager so that the manager takes responsibility. Haven't you noticed? It's every 2 or 3 years when we change managers. Every 2 or 3 years, there's this honeymoon phase, and all of a sudden, boom, we start going. So that's why a lot of us last season said, "No, we're tired of this reoccurrence. You can't be doing same thing over and over and over again and
No more
expect a different
boomerang.
result." So now that we have, I believe.
One thing
Okay,
I wanted to say. What I wanted to say in the first place is this: you see, Arteta is making a mistake, because if I was Arteta, I would do the same thing Pep Guardiola did when Pep came into Man City. When the year he came in on the league, he was third on the league. I think he won FA Cup. Pep came into the league. He took everything serious. The Premier, he took FA Cup, took Cali Cup. Like, he got them, used to winning something. But the things you see, I expect Arteta to do, like on a good day, Man U should not be winning FA Cup. Arteta should take all those trophies serious as well. You are not ready to win the league. You are not ready. I still believe if Man City do not even sign a striker, sign any player right now, as Arsenal gets in
They are still
this
favorites.
Merino
They are still
and
favorites.
Gyökeres,
If they end the whole summer without
Man
signing a
City will still
player,
win the league.
Man City are still favorites to win the league.
Man City will still
They
win the
are still
league.
favorites.
So that's the thing.
All day long, all day long. You could ask Tambi, you could ask Tony, you could ask
let me drop
anybody.
something.
They are
I think I
favorites.
said this last week. Let me drop it right here. I think I said it last week on Football Fan Zone, and I said it. I'm going to say it again. All right, you might call me delusional. I don't care. But United will win the league before Arsenal will win it with Arteta.
Yeah.
Crazy things are happening. Tell me, hope you're dancing.
You know what I also think? You know what I think, guys? You know what I also think, gentlemen?
Yeah.
I can second him. I can second him about Man United might winning it before Arsenal, because I believe Arsenal players don't have how they call it.
The winning
We call it
mentality.
the last gear. Every time the league is before the ending, they start cracking, they start breaking. Because Declan Rice doesn't play Champions League and played the league and play Cup and play Carabao Cup, so he doesn't know how it feels to be always on the ball, always on the field. Onana doesn't know that. Not Onana. I'm sorry. Who's this? Who's Arsenal players? All these boys from Arsenal.
Odegaard and them
Saka
now.
don't know this.
Martinelli,
The pressure,
Odegaard, and the
the
rest.
pressure,
Yeah.
the pressure of being like, Man City players know, like Rodri's and them. They know crunch time. Rodri will know crunch time. He will win. The club will win 1-0, and they're happy with it. They won't try to put on extra strikers and try to do something fancy. They will beat Arsenal, they'll beat Liverpool, they'll beat Chelsea, they'll beat Man United 1-0, and they're happy and they're satisfied with that win because they know it's crunch time. Because the next week we go into Champions League and we're playing Bayern Munich. We can't be running around trying to beat these teams 4-0, 5-0, 6-0. We'll beat them 1-0 and rest. And then we'll come Champions League, we'll beat the Dortmunds 2-0, then go and rest. So what Arsenal, what they're trying to do is trying to beat clubs like Arsenal. You remember how many goals Arsenal scored the previous season? They had like this run where they're beating clubs 6-0, 8-0, and but it showed at the end of the season that their players, when it comes to crunch time, Champions League, they had to compete also in the league. The players were tired. They were exhausted. They're not used to doing this over and over again every season. But I believe now the mentality might change because they're finishing second for the second time. I think the mentality might change because they lost it on the last day. Also, Liverpool, when they won it, they lost it on the last day. Then the next year they won it. But I think the mentality as well of the players needs to change that, guys, we're about to go into war. This is no longer play at West Ham, Declan Rice, where you play once the whole season. You play one competition or two competitions, and then you're out and you're like, okay, we just fighting for the 6th position. It's okay. Now we're trying to win the league against people who've been doing it in a row.
Yeah.
People who know how to win this easy. I think the brain can win the league closing his eyes. He can just close his eyes and win the league. He knows this. I don't even think they celebrate anymore. They made our league the Farmers League, basically.
Yeah.
They made our league the Farmers League.
No, they did not make the league the Farmers League. If you're talking about Man City making the league the Farmers League, then what would you say about United the time United were dominant? When people say this, I tend to see it as this. I tend to see it that we're going to jump into this Alvarez thing now.
Never this dominant, man. Man City were never this dominant. Derek, the minor were never this dominant. It was, no, come on, man. 7 times in 8 years, 4 in a row. Minor were never this dominant, man. Minor were never this dominant, man. This is heavenly. This is heavenly. This is a masterpiece.
Also,
this is second to none. These guys are in a world of their own. These guys should be valued. Thank you very much. It was never like Man United. Thank you very much. Please take note, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Does
Julian Alvarez
before you kick on with this Alvarez thing, what club does Nonsu support?
Arsenal.
Okay, don't worry. Let's move on. Alvarez, go to Alvarez. Sorry. move on.
Now, does Alvarez, like, I want to know your guys say, your opinion. I want to know your opinion.
Yeah.
Does Alvarez have a future? Would you advise Alvarez should leave Man City?
No.
Tammy, you want to go first or you want me to go first?
Yeah, I'd want to go first. I believe Alvarez. I think Alvarez's problem is, and I might be sounding out of character, but I believe players in South America have the worst advice ever. Players in South America, people around them give them the worst advice ever. We can look at the Neymars, we can look at the
Daddy, come
Ronaldinhos, we can
on,
look
come
at
on.
we can look at all these players.
No, it's true.
Ellison
It's
is
like I said,
considering
it's
taking
true.
the contract to the UAE, but I think the players in someone is in his ear telling him the right thing, which is the wrong thing, and he thinks that he's bigger than the club at some point because he has the World Cup. Yes, we agree, but when he signed for the club, he agreed to be number two for Haaland. He agreed
Mhm.
knowing very well that he'd be number two for Haaland. But I think there's someone in his ear that's telling him, no, listen, let's go to UAE, we'll get the money, or let's go to a Chelsea, or let's go to a. No, he must definitely not come to Liverpool because I don't need him. We must go to anywhere
Really?
because there's someone in his ear. Most players in South America have people in their ear that tell him the wrong thing and they do it. Neymar, the idea of Neymar going to PSG was the dumbest thing ever. But there was someone in his ear that said that would be a great idea. And he did it. And where is he now? You understand? So I think Alvarez, I think he has the same people around him. I think players in South America in general have people around them that tell him the wrong thing and they do the dumbest things ever. And then everyone feels bad for them when they end up back in Brazil, like Philip Coutinho as well. Coutinho, Klopp begged him to stay one more season, and he promised him that he'll give him the league. Like, nope, I'm going to Barcelona. I'll even take out 10 million out of my pocket and go to Barcelona. And what happened next? Because there was someone in his ear that told him that was a great move. You're going to Barcelona, which is the dumbest thing ever. I think Alvarez has the same people around him. I think South American players are, I don't know, maybe they drink a lot tequila. I don't know what's going on in South America, honestly. That's my opinion with Alvarez. I don't think he should leave. He should sit down and wait for his chance to shine. He should just wait. But how old is he? 22? 21?
Yeah,
He's
I
still
think
a
around there
baby.
too.
22,
Let me just
22,
chip
bro. He's too young, man.
let me chip in something here. Like what Tammy said, and I agree with him, right? Is the fact that, man, you signed a contract. You knew what you were like,
Yes.
it's not like you were coming from, it's not like you didn't know the Erling Haaland that was playing at Dortmund that was
Mm,
lighting up the place. Real Madrid wanted this guy. Man City went in, swooped in, and got the guy. And Haaland came in his first season, did crazy numbers, bro. Crazy, crazy numbers. I know Alvarez is a
Broke
fine player.
record, man.
Alvarez is a beautiful. I would
Yeah.
take Alvarez held like United were actually. He was actually offered to United for was it 20 m's or less, 12 m's, but we said no during Ralph Ragnick's time. We didn't go for him. The same.
Rafnik. Ah, that
Also,
guy tried, man.
this guy from Liverpool, the guy from Liverpool, what's his name, the right winger. We also offered that guy, right? My club said no.
Diaz.
Diaz, yeah. So for me, Alvarez is a fine player, but bro, you knew what you were coming in. So now I'm gonna look
Yeah.
at it from this other side of the fence, right? Could it be is they doing the agent talk where they're trying to make sure that okay, his next contract might be a severely improved one, might be a very improved contract, or it might work, right? So maybe that's it could be the agent, like what Tommy said, someone is speaking to his ears and into his ears and all of that. It could be the agent trying to push to say, okay, you know what, my player wants to be an important player. He's important, so for we should be getting important wages, if you know what I mean, right? So maybe it's just a
Yeah.
tactic or a ploy to get an improved contract when he wants to sign the next move in terms of whether it's going to be at Man City or elsewhere. Because for sure, if it's Pep Guardiola that's still the manager of that football club and he's going on, so bro, what happens to Cancelo might happen to him. But all in all, bro,
Yeah.
Honestly.
he should just take it down. If he wants to leave, fine. I understand. Like the Brazilians,
True.
the South Americans, right? They know how to look after themselves in terms of financial package. Every player does it, but those guys
Yeah.
from South America, we saw what Caicedo, we heard what Caicedo said in read it from the report. Like he had a large family, so he wants to go to somewhere that he could actually look after his family properly and all of that. At Brighton, with the financial package he was having at Brighton, he couldn't do that. So they don't just make the next step based on not only footballing reason, they also look at the financial reason as well. So
The background.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
the background of the family.
for if I'm to put myself in the man's shoes, I'm an important player like that in a city side that I've won the World Cup, I've won the Copa America, I've won the Premier League, I've won the Champions League. So I could tell myself I'm an important player. No, now me looking at my background coming from Nigeria, I could tell you, okay, I want a bigger pay. I want to move for a bigger pay.
Yeah,
You
true.
know, so it's
Yeah,
it's
true.
it's
Yeah.
and it's not out of place for me. It's not out of place, but the fact that you signed the contract and you're trying to make it look like they are belittling you is where I get the disconnect a little bit. Like what Tommy said, it's where I get the disconnect, but it is what it is. They guys, they know how to make they know how to make their ploy, their moves when it comes to the next big thing in terms of the transfer, or sorry, the next contract signing and all of that. Don't forget, this will be his second. If he's gonna extend, he's gonna what Ralph Ragnick said in the words of Ragnick, get players that are into their first or second contract. So this will be like his second contract, right? So because he
Yeah,
knows after
true.
here, if he goes maybe another 5 years, he's 22 now, 27. The next one will be more like a retirement package, something that is final contract, right? In the top flight leagues, right? So look at Edison looking to go to Saudi
Saudi
Arabia or
Arabia.
the UAE. Why do you think he's doing that, bro?
It's the
For the
money, man,
bread. It's
because
the bread. The bread is
they're
well
offering
won.
him
It's,
£600,000.
see, I want to let me say something from the local palace here in Nigeria. I think that guy has to pipe low. It's not time to make any crazy move right now, man. You know, bump me, calm down. Where you heading to? Saudi Arabia at the age of 22. Who is talking to you, bro?
I'm not thinking it
It's,
will
it's
go
definitely
end
not
up in
tempting.
Saudi Arabia. I'm thinking it would just
It's
be.
definitely not tempting.
I'm
I
thinking
think
he's
it's just
looking
a
at.
ploy to get
I
him.
don't think
It's a
he goes
ploy.
Saudi
It's
Arabia.
a ploy. You're right. You're a ploy. Arinze,
I think
no,
it's
so
just
it's a ploy.
it's a ploy
It's
to
a
get a
ploy.
new contract. That's what I
It's a
feel.
ploy. That's what I
It's a
feel.
ploy. His agent is
Yeah,
smart.
okay.
It's a ploy to get a new contract.
Okay.
The guy know what he's doing. I listened to you when he said I will decide my future after the Olympics. Come on, shut up, boy. Go play Olympics for kids. Then come back and talk with men. For me, it's just simple.
Now, this is what David Moyes says here. He says here he's
Yeah.
pretty damn versatile as he has proved last season. So I don't see why he can't play way more minutes if Kevin De Bruyne is playing less and less for us. And Patricia says, as long as Man City have Alan and De Bruyne, there is no room for Alvarez in the starting 11. I am sure he wants to start. So he should leave. That's another opinion. Mitchell says it would be a big mistake to leave Man City. It does not even start for Argentina. Now, this is a Mitchell is a big is a big Man City fan
Big
from
question mark.
from Canada as well. But for me, honestly, I believe he's a good player, and I believe he will start for so many teams. But if he's doing this, he also needs to just calm down, because I know for sure that there's no way you are betting Alan. Though I still believe that he can be dangerous than Alan, because there is more to his game than
You
Alan.
don't even get
Alan
it. Tell me it's not about being
is a
dangerous.
boss to boss
Tell me it's not
player.
about being dangerous. Tell me. I want to say something. Tell me, can I throw this into the mix? Man City are in
Yeah.
4 competitions. And I can bet you that no
Mhm.
matter how bad the Man City season are, they will go far as once to the quarterfinal of all the competitions. That I can show you.
Mhm.
That means there are so many games to be played. And Haaland and LeBron can't play all these games, man. So there's so many, and like you said, when given the chance last season, the boy has proven that he can play. So why not bump me? Calm down. The time will come, man. The brother is playing beat part. Injury has also played his part to keep him out. The boy will get his chance, bro. I think he's gonna play up to 30 games this season,
Wait.
but
Banks,
maybe not
Banks,
all at the
Banks,
start.
So wait first.
Banks, Banks. We are live, and they just confirmed
Yeah.
this news. They just confirmed this news. Aaron Basaka
Yeah.
to West
And
Ham.
you just you saw it. You saw
Let
you
me
are seeing it
see.
now on
Wait,
this thing, or you're
let
seeing
me
it from here.
because I
Because
want to
I'm
double
seeing
check.
United is really seeing it.
No. It's the
For all the
person
Yeah.
Man
that
U
said.
fans,
Yeah.
they will
Double
be
check,
saying
please.
good readings.
Yeah,
For
all
all
the
the
people.
Man U fans, they'll be saying good readings.
Double check.
No, it's not a case of
They'll be
good
saying, oh, this
reading.
is
No, the thing
good
is that,
readings,
man,
good
Man, you
readings.
need to bring in players.
Um, um,
Let me just
no,
check.
I
And they
don't
want
Man,
think
you
to
need
it's
to
sell
it's
bring
not
in
out.
players.
confirmed yet. It's not confirmed yet, though. It's just a guy that's saying it. No. So let me give you this. Let me just give you this. It's not a case of good readings. I think I was here. I don't know if you were here when I was trying to explain to Banks in terms of when I was using the furniture analogy, right? It's not a case of good readings. It's a case of
Yeah.
as a football club, where do you want to be? What style of play are you looking to make? Right? You cannot have players that are not going to complement or that style of play and have them. And don't forget, Aaron Wan-Bissaka is on his last year final year of his contract, bro. He's leaving for free at the end of the summer, the next summer, which is the 2025 year,
That's if we don't give
2025.
him a new contract.
They're not going to offer him a new contract, bro. Because if they wanted to offer him a new contract, that would have been January of this same year. But it wasn't so. If the man gets to January, he's free to talk to any other person outside the league.
Yeah.
So
Any
why
club.
let a player that could fetch you another 10 or 15 M's, why let them walk out of the door just because you want to be like, oh, he knows how to slide, he knows how to do it. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, for me, I would say you this. He's a fine player, bro. He's a good player. He's not a bad player at all. Don't let anybody make that statement that Aaron Wan-Bissaka is not a bad player. But let's get this thing right. Just because a player is good doesn't mean you will go get him or he fits your plan, right?
So what you're saying in essence is that what you're saying in essence is a case of how important he is to the team and not about his quality in general. So for Man United, it doesn't mean so much to them as much as what it would mean when he plays for West Ham and Julian Alvarez, right?
Yes. So it's a case of can you do away with quality with Aaron Wan-Bissaka? Can you do without him? If the answer is yes, then let's sell him. If the answer is no, and
Simple.
see if Aaron Wan-Bissaka didn't have a suitor in terms of someone coming to buy him right now, maybe he would be doing the same thing Maguire is doing by leaving for free next season, right? But we have somebody that's willing to take him off our hands, bro. Why make that mistake? And if we don't do this, it will remind me of the Jesse Lingard time where Jesse Lingard went on loan to West Ham United and had a very good time,
I can't forget
only
that.
for us
I
to
can't
bring
forget
him
that.
back, and we couldn't sell him for even 10 or 5 million, and we let him walk out the door for free. So, bro, that's why I said
crazy,
that
man.
time I couldn't sleep. Right now, maybe you sleep with 1.5 eyes closed, bro.
Now, this is coming from Talk Sports, and it says here West Ham are pushing to sign Aaron Wan-Bissaka, but they are reluctant to meet Manchester United 15 million asking price. For me, I believe 15 million is not too much, man. Honestly, if I have to be fair, it's not too much for me. 15 million is
It's not too much.
like,
Not too much. It's fair enough.
it's fair enough for me.
For what they're getting, it's fair enough. Yeah, for what they're getting. But Saka is a very good right back. It's fair enough. Very fair. I think
they just want to. It's all negotiation. It's all strategy. Okay, you don't want 15 million, because I read a report that says United are looking to they might look to lower the asking price and all of that, right? So
I saw it.
It could also be a negotiating tactics, but let's just see how. Like for me, I said the window is we still have until the end of August, right, to see how they wrap up things and all of that. But for sure, I feel like if I'm to put it in percentage wise, I feel 75% of Wan-Bissaka is gone. Lindelof also is gone. That's how I feel.
Drex, there's a question here. Rabiot or Zubimendi or Fofana or Mana Ogate, who are you taking in your team?
Take Fofana off. Strike out Fofana. So let it be Rabiot, Zubimendi or Manuel Ugarte.
So Fofana has got no chance, man. Just strike Fofana out.
So Rabiot is on the free.
Bloody hell.
Rabiot is on the free, so I will put Rabiot in there as I will take Rabiot. Now Ugarte or Zubimendi, if you ask me deep inside of me, right? I would go. Zubimendi is a good player, but it begs the question again: is he every player? Both of them would. Zubimendi or Ugarte would do well. Now it begs the question of who the manager thinks fits what he wants to do. But if I am the coach, right? Rabiot for sure is. If I'm going to take Rabiot, then I would take Zubimendi. So because Rabiot is a free transfer, I could go do it. I'm not paying any money to any club. We just discuss sign-on bonus and
salary.
Financial package and all of that, right? Zubimendi, I know it will take about 60 euros to hit the release clause. Manuel Ugarte and PSG are actually looking PSG are looking for like 50 M's, right? But United are saying, okay, they want to pay like 34, something like that. So for me, if we now put, that's where I put, this is where I'm very realistic. I put all the variables into play. if you're asking me on a fantasy level, I'll tell you Rabiot, Zubamendi, I'll take those two, right? But if I have to put everything on the
Okay.
play, on the table, the variables, except the club are telling me, yo, don't worry about the Zubamendi release clause. We have the money to trigger it, right? What we'll just do is just talk to the selling club and say, okay, you know what? We might not as well pay the release clause, but we'll pay a little bit over the release clause, right? Where we can now pay in
Yeah. Like they did with
installation.
the Euro.
Yeah, like they did with Zexi, right? They did it with Zexi. They didn't trigger his release clause. They just paid something, I think 2-3. Zexi's release clause was 34. We paid 42, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. So
Yeah.
I think it was 40 M's in euros that we paid 42, so that we could actually split the payment, I think, in 3-4 installment, right? So is this so if it's a case of where they tell me
Was it
Zubamendi,
42?
it was 42, we paid 42 point
Okay.
something. At the end of the day, we paid 42 point something because we were not triggering the release
In
clause
pounds, right?
in euros. No, that's in euros.
In
That's in
Euro, it
euros.
was 62.
In euros, it was 62.
In Euros, it was
I
62.
have to double
But in the
check. But I
conversion, it was
know
42.
we paid over a little bit over the release clause because they wanted the release clause
Yeah,
to
yeah,
be
yeah.
triggered.
Yeah.
We didn't have the fee to pay that to trigger that release clause. So if we're going to be doing that thing for the same thing for Zubamendi, then I might as well just say, you know what? You can actually take all three of these players. Rabiot is a
Or you
free.
better still, pay a higher amount of fee and spread it across how many years?
Yes, that's
In the
what I'm
Chelsea
saying.
way.
We can actually take all three players at the moment, right? If you have people if all three players are going to be in the squad, because like we need squad depth as a United team. Speaking from a United fans perspective, we need squad depth in the midfield. If we're selling
Mhm.
Scott McTominay to Fulham for that price that they are saying they're going to go in for, at least that gives you money to actually go pay down something. You can actually say, okay, you pay down something, right? All three players would be important and needed, right? But in this case where United is red is asking me, I'm saying I'm striking out for Fana. I will take Rabiot, and if I'm going to consider the finances, then maybe Ugati. If I'm not considering the finances, then I'll go with Zubamendi.
Okay. Okay. Moving on, we've seen Arsenal have been linked with two players. These two players are what's the name? Gokores and is it Mikel Merino? They are looking to bring into these two players because but I know Arsenal wants to just do a deal by once Eddie Nketiah leaves, then they can go and get Gokores and Mikel Merino. No, so being an Arsenal fan, what do you think these two players are going to add in your team if you're able to get these two players? And do you rate them?
First of all, I want to tell all Arsenal fans that if they sign Gukares, it'll just be another wrong signing, another miss. I don't
Okay.
think he's got the quality, the ability to play for this Arsenal team. Not today, not tomorrow, not any other day. Maybe Manchester United.
Yeah, why?
That's the truth. That's the truth. The better I used to sign
I
him,
have
having
always loved this Gyökeres guy, but go ahead now. So finish up your statement. I'll chip
the
my
guy.
own.
Don't mind that always had all these average players. It was before it was Rasmus Højlund, now it's Zegzi. Gukares will not be a bad idea. For Man United, but that's on the flip side. I think the guy's not good enough for Arsenal. What Arsenal needs is an out and out striker. Someone they can show that can give them 25 goals. Like I said, for you to win the league, you need a striker can score 25, 30 goals a season. And Gyökeres he didn't do that in the Portuguese league. Can he do that in the Premier League? That's my question. I don't think he's a man.
No,
He can be the
he
man.
scored.
No, he
I
scored
think he
goals. I'm
scored
not saying he
over.
scored goals. He
Yeah,
scored
he scored
goals. I'm
goals.
not
I think
doubting
he had.
that. He's got how many did he
Okay.
get in the league, man? That's my problem, man. This is the
I
Premier
think he
League,
had
bro.
he had
This
a
is the
GA
Premier
of
League, bro.
42. Yeah, I know
Exactly,
it's
all competition
Premiership.
for the team. Yes. He's got in his Premier League, bro. He's playing against Man United with Martinez, who's interested in your ankle than the football. You know what I'm talking about? You know?
What are you saying?
You,
Why do you
you,
have
you
to
get what
mention
I'm
Lisandro
saying?
Martinez? Why do you have
He's
to
the
mention
most, he's the
Lisandro
most,
Martinez?
sorry, he's a tyrant. He's an absolute tyrant, bro. Watching him play sometimes, I think he thinks he's playing kickboxing. He goes with everything he's got. And I love players like that who play with their heart anyway. He just gives it all. And that's why he
I
gets
love the
injured
guy,
more
man.
often. So he goes into He goes into challenges he shouldn't be going into. He jumps into some kind of career. You ask yourself, boy, you want to play longer, you want to play just for some years, because come on, you ask yourself, how did he reminds me of a certain Jack Wilshere who gets into stupid challenges for no reason. Why just make such a challenge? Let it go, bro. It's not do or die. It's not life or death, bro. That one is Anomaly does. He plays on the edge. But that's by the way. So for me, I think Arsenal is the top striker. I still don't think it's Gokres. But if they get him, then he needs a lot of coaching, a lot of training. Maybe we could get a helping hand from Van Nistelrooy from Man United, because he will need his help to get this boy up to speed. Scoring goals like we want him to. But Mikel, I don't know. Come on, man. That's what we Arsenal needs. He brings back that Granit Xhaka feeling. I think I was one of those who felt that Granit Xhaka left too early, and there's still a hole missing in that midfield when he's not playing. We've got players who are very. Martin Ogana has got the artistry, the creative nature. But Mikel Moreno brings that calmness, and that still you need in your midfield at times. When you need to calm the game down. And that's why you look at Spain. All the time he was brought us when they are winning, just to kill the game off, bro. We make the game boring and unattractive. You need those kind of players in your team, man. So I think he'll be a great addition. I think Moreno will be a great addition. I think the players now need it will add bite. It will add squad depth. I think Calafiero, like I told you, was a fantastic deal for me. Arsenal needed a defender. They've got backup. Now we can sleep at night when we hear that Gabriel Miguelis or Saliba is injured. You could ask yourself, oh, there's a replacement somewhere. But for Gyökeres, man, I don't know who is scouting these things for Arsenal. I don't hope he's making the right decision.
Let me chip in for
That's my-
for
I just hope.
Victor
I just hope, man.
Gyökeres or what they go Gyökeres, right?
Yeah.
He had 50 appearances last
Yeah.
season. Hear this now.
Yeah.
He had 50 appearances last season. Man scored 43 goals in all competition. 50 appearances last season, 43 goals in all
Applaud
competition.
his age.
15 assists, right? So
Yeah.
that's not good enough. Do you think Gabriel Jesus would give you that output?
Even Kai Havertz will not. Havertz will not.
Gabriel Jesus is not a striker now.
Okay, but this
Gabriel Jesus is not a striker.
I'm not saying
We've
you
had
should
this discussion
take
before.
him.
Me and them.
Yeah, okay. I'm not saying you should take Victor, right? I'm saying comparing to, he will be an out-and-out striker that these guys can actually find. Saka can work with. Martinelli can work with.
Yeah.
Alves can work with. Right? And we also know how...
I think people don't know. Saka has got a lot of issues, though. As much as we're praising Saka, one of those who believe that guy needs to sit down sometimes and watch the game. Sometimes the man speak broken small, no verse.
I believe as Arteta
He had
has reached
the fool
that guy to
sometimes.
the point where he has reached his elasticity limit. He just needs to calm down, right? But going
No.
back to Victor,
He hasn't tried their models. There is no more juice. He has still got the juice. Wait from that ball.
Also, wait. Let him finish.
Going back to
I will
Victor,
mute you
right?
here now.
Please go ahead.
He's saying that if I would take Victor my football club, oh yes, I would take Victor my football club. Don't forget at the point in time. That's
Where would I leave Rasmus?
Wait now, bro. Let me finish. Don't forget at the point in time, United actually carry 4 strikers. 4 strikers.
Yeah.
So
Dwight York and
we want to get back to those days, right? Of saying, then you need to know, and these are strikers that they all had different attributes. There was one that was just
exactly.
Although I wouldn't say he was willing to sit on the bench, but his job was to, hey, dust yourself up, come up, go and score for me, and he would come and deliver, and he would deliver, right? So even when that era left, we had Rooney, Tevez, Berbatov, and Ronaldo. So for me, this Victor Gyökeres is not actually a bad player, right? Looking at what he did, I think he moved from Coventry to Sporting Lisbon, from the Championship to Sporting, and so for me, it's the price now. I think on transfer market he's valued at 65, but I think the club is saying something about 70, 80 euros, right? So it's the price. So will you be able to? That's why when the option of Joshua Zexi and him came up, I was like, yo, for the price, for Joshua's price for a striker in this market, bro, it was a steal.
Yeah, it's a bargain.
It is steal, yeah.
Yeah, so for me,
It's still.
if does Arsenal actually need a striker? So are they willing to cover that kind of money and go get this striker? It won't be a bad idea. Another striker that Arsenal would get that I would say, okay, now I'll take my word back is if Arsenal get Isaac from Newcastle, they'll win the league before United.
Exactly. Now you're talking, bro. Now you're
Yeah,
talking,
yeah,
bro.
yeah,
I fancy
yeah.
that guy since his time at Real Sociedad.
Because
The boy
that
can
is
play.
who
The
Arsenal,
boy
and
can play as a winger. He can play as a striker.
it's the same thing that Victor does. It's just that for us right now, because Isaac has played in the Premier League, we could say, okay, Isaac is Premier League proven and he can slot in like hands in glove, right?
So
But
you know, that's
no,
the edge now. That's the edge, my
that's
brother.
the edge.
That's what I'm
That's
going
the
to
edge.
gamble.
That
This is
that
time for
edge
us to
comes
do try your luck.
that
Wait,
edge has
wait.
After this,
that edge has a price to it. That edge in itself is already like 20 M's already. That edge. So if you are taking the risk, if you want to say, okay, you
Mhm.
know what, this price is for this edge alone is 20 M and put the total package maybe like 100 M, right, for that striker. And Gyro, the thing is, your scouting department, you have to trust them. Have they done their due diligence? If they have done it and they give you the report and there's no difference between what an Isaac would give to you and what this guy would give to you, you might as well just take the risk and go with it. Rather than go. So, except you have 100 M's to say, you know what,
Mhm.
bullshit the risk, let's go for Isaac and get Isaac. That's. So, it's all where put your money
I
where your
think it will
mouth is.
cost more. I think Isak
thank you very
will
much. I
cost more.
understand where you're coming from, but please never again call Gabriel Jesus a striker. I don't know what he is, but he's not a striker. Thank you very much.
Bought him as a striker, most. Your coach bought him as a striker.
Don't
I don't
That's
think
the
don't
thing.
he,
don't don't
I
mind
don't think he
don't mind this type of Arsenal fans. They bought the man as a striker. When he came on,
They bought him as a striker.
he's playing a supporting midfielder role, and then now
he's playing supporting cast for a striker that was bought for huge money. He's playing supporting cast. Oh God, Arsenal
So
have
now,
suffered though. After they need a
one
striker,
question.
they need a striker.
One question. One question. Can Arsenal win the league this season?
Derek, go first. I want to hear what you had to say.
it's
You
a
seem to
tough
be, you seem
it's
to
a
have
tough
everything
one.
wrapped
It's
up.
a tough one. It's a tough one. I know I said that United will win the league before them, right? But it's just a case of what are they going to do in the market. Now, if they don't get a striker, if they're still going to do the Alves, Gabriel Jesus, Martinelli thing, bro, you've tried that for 2-3
Mhm.
seasons. It didn't take you over the line. So if you're not getting an out and out striker that will make that difference, that would give you the difference between 15 points that you lost, or let's say even 9 points that you lost last season. That's the difference, bro. The way it's going now, if Man City is winning the league with 101 points, you have to be winning the league from them with 102 points. So
Yeah.
will a striker be that extra boost you needed? Like I used to tell my United fan last season. Last season, if we had a good defense, maybe we would have even saved another 9 points. Maybe that might not do us a lot of good, but we might have saved another 9 points that would have put us even maybe in the fifth position or something like that. Because if you remember, at the end of the day, it was all goal. It was goal difference that separated us from whoever came seventh and sixth, right? So these are the fine margins. So if they don't get the striker, and I say striker in the mode of Isaac, right, or in the mode of even
Mhm.
this
Yeah.
Victor guy, right? If they don't get the striker, bro, it's still gonna be the case of we'll sit on top for a long time, warm that seat for whoever's gonna take it. That's my
Absolutely.
bias aside.
I buy that idea
I'm talking
all
from
day long.
a neutral perspective. Who's seen Arsenal over the last 5 years with Arteta, right? Bias aside, that's what they need.
Mhm.
The man needed midfielder last 2 seasons ago to see if he could get him over the line. He strengthened his midfield. It pushed him. It even helped him push Man City to the final, stretch Man City. But it still didn't get him over the line because of that falling short on the striking option, on the goals. Arsenal lost the game,
Mhm.
the league against West Ham and Fulham, where they threw those points away. That's where they lost the game. That's where they lost
For
the
me,
league.
I think it was against Aston
Now,
Villa, man.
Not even see. I know. Okay, you can add Aston Villa, but for me, is that defeat to West Ham? I think, and that defeat to, I think it's the Fulham that they lost to as well, or they drew Fulham. So
Yeah, I
for
think it's
me,
Fulham. They lost to Fulham as well.
they big up yourself, United Israel. I hope you have a restful sleep. For me, it's just a
Yeah,
case
big up,
of
man. Big up, big up.
it's just a case of somebody need to take them over the line. But if I have to put back my United bias, bro, they ain't not winning the league before me. They will just warm up that position
They will
by
just warm up
before me.
Now I need to speak, guys. The network wanted to take me away, but I'm back. I'm back. Yes, I'm back. Can Arsenal win the
Continue.
league? A big question. This is a multi-dollar question, man. They are good enough to win the league, but there's still some jigsaw in the puzzle that is missing. And I'll tell you why. I think one has been done and dusted with Calafiori. Arsenal fans can sleep, like I said, on night. If there's any injury at the back, there's proper replacement. Instead of having a lot of mediocres who are not Arsenal quality in your back line. Whether it is Cedric, all those guys, I don't know, that surplus requirements. I don't want to start listing them. And all these dead weights like Smith Rowe, they are all leaving gradually. But I'm just waiting for the good news that Edin Ketia too has followed suit as well. Those people who are occupying space at Arsenal. I think that's by the way. Now they need to get some quality players. A top class striker and get you 20, 25 goals. Bang. Another midfielder to give cover to the likes of Thomas Partey if he's leaving, Declan Rice. The guy is working. The guy has been worked too hard. He works too hard, bro. At some point, I would have asked Derek to come play some for us because the guy works too hard. So I can give him a rest. But Derek, unfortunately, all he can do is talk football. So we leave him here. He's good at what he does. So we just need a midfielder. I think so. A magical midfielder that can give rest to Declan Rice. Another striker. We've got Calafiori already. So and then a winger, please sound it. Someone that can put Saka on his toe, allow that boy to rest. There's no more juice in that boy.
Yeah.
This guy has squeezed all the whole juice. Look at him at the Euros. Tired, leggy. He should have sat in the fans because he was watching the game than playing it. So we needed someone else who can give that guy a time to rest. That guy plays every competition, even friendly games. Because there's no replacement. So a winger to replace Saka, I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know whether the person is available. We're hearing a certain Leroy Sané is in the news. I don't know. I still
Yeah.
doubt that guy had anything to give at 28. But let's just leave that by the way. A winger to replace Saka, a midfielder, a striker, and then Asa will be fine. But
Non
most
stop.
importantly, a striker
Also,
that can
one
score
question.
20 to 25 goals.
Do
Yeah, they
you
can.
think Arteta can take you guys over the line, even if you do all of this?
Oh, yes, he can. He can. He's got a footballing brain. He's got a strong mental strength. He's got good. The only thing he needs to watch out for. I know I've talked about it in December.
Did he freeze?
Yeah, I think you freeze. Can you hear me?
He's on mute. He needs to unmute himself.
He
Wait, I think he's on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? So I think he has the ability to take them all throughout the line. He's a very, very quality player. As a player and as a coach, he's proven he can lead the team. But there's one thing he needs to work on. I think he's got issue with man management, managing egos. Yes. Sometimes you need some of your best players in their worst mood to win games. Conte managed and Diego Costa until after they won the league and then they told him you can leave. You get the point right now. He finds it very hard in managing ego, bro. Look at how he let. Do you know Arsenal see something from the sale of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang? Imagine Guardiola will settle down in the dressing room, give me a hair dryer, give me a head boot, and then everything will go on. By now, he would have been the striker that would lead these boys. He would have been the experienced head leading these boys to victory. But now we're looking for a striker when we had one who was so little that the world was asking, how do we get the best of strikers? So I think he needs to manage the egos a little better and get a bit better. I think his tactics is right, management is right. He does well when it comes to selection, but that ego, when he falls out with you, he has fallen out with you. Even your pastor in your village cannot help you because he doesn't listen to anybody. There's no forgiveness in his heart. I think that's the point he needs to work
I
out.
have to
But I
agree.
think
I would
he can lead us.
Shebo's comment, Shebo Libuela. Yeah, Arsenal. they've not won the league not because they're not good enough. I agree with you, bro. I agree with you 100%. It's because City has been better. Like I said, if City is winning the league 101 points, you have to win it with 102 points. And so that brings us back to, do they have what it takes to make sure that they get the 102 points? Because like we just spoke now, they lost to Fulham, they lost to West Ham, they lost to Aston Villa. 9 points right there cost them the league. That right there
True.
was the difference between them winning the league under Arteta and Man City winning it 4 times in a row. That was it right there. So if they can find a way of making up for those kind of losses, then even if they had drawn those 3 games, I feel like they would have won the league. But the fact that they lost all 3, bro, it just. And they've not won anything in a long while, so the mentality might not be there. Unlike United fans that have won the Carabao, Carabao Cup, the FA Cup the next season. So these guys are like, okay, we can beat anybody on our day. We just need to build on that. But Arsenal players are like, okay, are we really good enough? That's the question now.
That's the thing. That's the next truth. Now, I want to move on to this. For me, I don't think Arsenal will win the league. I don't think. I think they are good enough, but I think they still need to bring in some players. And when I talk about player, I mean players like your Isak, Eberechi Eze. Those are kind of play. They need to bring in players. They brought in Calafiori already. They brought in Calafiori already. I would say if Arsenal can do, they can go and get somebody like Fabian Ruiz or Mike Merino, but they still need somebody like Odegaard in Eberechi Eze, and they need Isak. The reason why I would say Isak and Eze is fine is because Eze can play anywhere up front. He can play as a 10 striker. And the same thing goes for Isak as well. So Arsenal need to just go out there and splash out the money. Now, moving forward, guys, Chelsea, they have been terrible in the preseason. Just like I say with Man U. I look at what Maresca and his boys are doing. I could see their plans. You could see that they are building up to something. That's why I don't judge them. But people are already saying it's not looking good for Chelsea. So does it really, really matter that they've lost to Celtic and drew against West Ham? Because I've seen a season whereby Chelsea went on to lose all their preseason and end up winning the league itself. So these things happens. I know some people have been taking banter already, like, okay, no, he's going to get sacked in September. He will not be there in December. That's what some Chelsea fans have been saying already. So what's your take on it, guys?
As the Maresca, you see, they need to give him time. They need to give the man time. Yeah. They need to give him time. See, watching them play in preseason is painful. I think you prefer to watch even cartoon than watch Chelsea play in preseason. They've been that awful. They've been really bad. The only light at the end of the tunnel is Christopher Nkunku, and we know what he can do with or without Enzo Maresca. So, but Chelsea would have to be patient. See, I said something and I would tell them, but tell me, sometimes you need to call me. I'm a sport prophet for a reason. Because I say this when it happened. I told you, for Chelsea, it has to get very bad for it to get better. So Chelsea has to brace up. They haven't seen anything yet. It's going to get very, very bad. They're going through the Liverpool phase before the club era. Can you hear me? Yeah, so it's the Liverpool phase before the club era and the early part of the club era. So this is the era I'm going through. They will get it right at some point in the future. Maybe by then Arsenal will have won the league. But for Chelsea fans, they should brace up. It's a long season, man. Enzo is inexperienced. His best job is Leicester City promoting them from the league. Apart from that, he was second. See, not everybody that works on Pep Guardiola will become a massive manager. The man wants to play the Guardiola way. Does he have the tools at Chelsea to play the Guardiola way? That's another big question. He wants to play out from the back. They're making silly mistakes and continuing 4 against Celtic. They're making silly mistakes and continuing 4 against teams they should be beating. So Chelsea fans will be ready. They will make mistakes. See, the first half of the season will be terrible. You should repair their mind. The boys are on a learning curve. It's like going to university. They're learning it before they get themselves. So I don't think they'll get too much from the season, but the future is bright with whatever they are planning because so many young players, the coach has the right to to tweak and change. But if you're looking for immediate success, man, Chelsea fans go wait though. You go taste more. You go take. What I'm seeing, Kai work plenty. Enzo has his work cut out for him, man. Absolutely.
Drex, you
For
want
me,
to add anything to it?
for me, right, it's like what Nonso is saying right there. It's they need time, but the fact that they are losing in the preseason doesn't by default translate into the fact that they might suffer or they might get this absolutely wrong when the season start, right? Looking at them, I watched both games, right, bro, man, bro. The Celtic game, bro. I was like, what are you guys doing? The first goal, or if not the second goal, it was a 3v1 situation where the Celtic player from the defense moved it to the right wing. That guy just raised his head up and he saw that it was just two of his players against a Chelsea one player. And it just floated the ball in the
Yeah.
air. It was so simple. And Chelsea wanted to play a highline. So I feel like it's a case of these players, right? These players haven't bought into what Maresca
Maresca.
is trying to teach them. Now it begs me now, and that makes me wonder, okay, what was Pochettino trying to do last season? What was the plan Pochettino was trying to do? And also it also further makes me question the top of the hierarchy. What are you people's plan in terms of the footballing structure? You can't just be going buying players left, right, center. What's your plan? What do you want to do? Because you got all of these players, then you sacked Pochettino. You got players for Tuchel, you sacked him. The man didn't even think to actually, he hasn't even started doing his work on the players, you've sacked him. Same goes for Pochettino. One season is gone and you got him some players, right? So what's the main plan? Now, Enzo Maresca, on the other hand, bro, the hierarchy would have to bite the bullet on any thought about sacking him. They would have to let this man do his job, not just come here and say, okay, he's not working at the first season, bites it. No, 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 no. You'd have to say, okay, you know what? We've come to a place where we would actually we actually support this manager and give him, because you could see the simple mistake that they were doing in that Celtic game that maybe come this season they would have been able to brush it up, right? So that's why the
Yeah.
preseasons are there, Banks. That's why the preseasons are there, to actually know who's got the one is to get the minutes into the players, get the fitness, and also two is to make sure that the managers, what the managers' brainchild is in terms of how they want to play, is passed across to everybody, and everybody's catching it on. The earlier, the better. So maybe it might take them August, September, October to gel and kickstart, right? Maybe their own season might start in November, or it might even start at the back end of September. Nobody knows, right? But at the moment, it's not looking exciting. It's not looking good. There's a lot of questions to be asked, but they just need, for me, they shouldn't do that mistake again where they don't get striker. If they don't get the striker and depend on Cole Palmer and Michael Jackson, bro, it's gonna be a case of
Nicolas Jackson. You said Michael Jackson.
it's gonna be a case of And what's
Did you
Sebo?
say Michael Jackson?
I said that on purpose. What
Nicholas
Sebo is saying
Jackson.
is, I said that on purpose. And that's what I called him all through last season. Don't worry, I know what I'm saying. Don't forget what Sebo is saying right here: Palmer, Enzo, Cucurella, Casedo, Petrovic, Gallagher. Disasi is playing at the moment, bro. Jackson, I think Jackson is there. So for me, it's a case of nobody's attacking Chelsea. We're just saying it's all preseason. They still have players to come through, right? But whilst we're waiting for these ones that are playing in the preseason to kick on, they still have the Cucurellas and the Enzos. It's not like Enzo would come. It's not like Enzo was a great player last season. Let's not make it look like Enzo was superb for them last season. Nor was Caicedo, right? So let's put that on the one side. I like it when you say they still have players yet to meet with the team, but let's not make it look like those guys were superb last season, right? So
Yeah, true.
I'm saying that one of the mistakes they will make going into this season is if they don't get an out-and-out striker to maybe not to partner with Nicholas Jackson, maybe to even start ahead of Nicholas Jackson, where that make Nicholas Jackson knows that, okay, you know what, you will be the understudy to this striker, right? And Kopama would have somebody that he will be. Kopama literally bailed them out last season, bro.
Honestly.
So so for me, so it's like this. The hierarchy, they have to say, okay, what are we doing? We've employed Maresca, we're going to stick with him. Is we have the football pathway that we want to go on, the route we want to go on. Maresca was the one that could actually lead us in that path. So we're going to stay with Maresca and we're going to make everything work with Maresca. So they shouldn't do this thing where shit will hit the fan and they're already running out of the room without trying to actually figure out where is this thing coming from. If they keep doing that, then bro, Chelsea are yet to hit rock bottom yet. They will still have to fall before they will get up. So I just believe that the hierarchy of knowing they know what they are doing, and they're going to entrust the manager, because you can't just. And don't forget, it's also telling on the players. People tend to forget these players. You got Tuchel, you sacked him. The players are like, okay, well, who is coming in? You got Pochettino. Okay, players are like, oh, he signed for 3 years, right? Even if it's 2 years, players, okay, you know what? I have another year. If I can't catch it on now, I have next season to catch on what the manager is trying to do, right? So that gives me time because some people are slow learners, some are fast learners. Let's not take that away from life. Some people,
true.
So the man is saying, okay, I have to next season to maybe they've seen their shortcomings last season under Pochettino, right? They're saying, okay, this season I have to brush up on those shortcomings. Boom, there's a new manager through the door. This man is not asking himself, what's going on again? So it's more telling. Wise is telling on the fans and the club. It's also telling on the players, bro. So for some players, it might be easy because they might be used to the high line and maybe they're playing under Pochettino. It was a little bit different. Now there's a Maresca that's playing their type of way. Oh, they will get it fast. That's what I mean by some players are fast learners. So they will get it fast and they would kick on, right? But don't forget that these players are also humans. Just the same way you can't just be changing things upon them and just expect them to kick on. So for me, I'm not.
Like
I'm
even
not. Go ahead.
like Moye says now, like Moye says, he says it takes time to integrate a new tactics in a new team. But
100.
Chelsea fans aren't the
No,
waiting
they're
type,
not. They're
and
not
we
the
know
waiting
they are
type.
not
They are not the
patient.
wait. We know that for
They
sure.
are not patient
They,
at all.
they,
They are not patient. They
if
want
they
it
switch,
now.
if they switch Chelsea fans with Arsenal fans, bro, Ateta would have been gone.
Are gone since.
even
It will have been
even
long,
even
long gone.
Eric Ten Hag would have been gone because those guys
Gone since. Chelsea fan.
once Chelsea fans start saying out, manager out, bro, the
Ah,
board don't know
yeah.
how to calm things, and the board will just react and just do it. So
It will be long gone, man.
for me, it is still early days. It's still preseason. New manager through the door. Some of these players, we're expecting to still see Pochettino here this season, but things happen the way it happened. So you just have to give the manager time, bro. For me, anybody that is saying Maresca out at this early stage and needs to go to the hospital and just have maybe
No,
take
it's not.
time
The
out.
person knows nothing about football, honestly.
No,
That
you should
person knows
just
nothing
go
about
to the
football.
hospital and just book a bed there and say, you know what, I just need time out, man. Not a hotel, hospital, so that they will have nurse come and be doing 24 hours check on the person. Because, bro, what were you expecting, bro? Magic?
Now,
Nah.
I don't know how true this article is, but it says a Liverpool had agreed a deal in principle with Newcastle to sign Anthony Gordon for 75 million and sell Joe Gomez for 45 million. Newcastle ditched the double deal as they found other avenue to meet PSR. Wow.
Right?
Does it
Right
mean
now,
that they didn't? Okay, go
they
on.
didn't go with it. It means that they had an agreement with Liverpool where Liverpool would give them um Gomez
Joe
for
Gomez.
45 million, and they would pay Liverpool themselves would pay 75 for Anthony Gordon, right? All of these
Yeah.
banks, we're talking behind the stage right now. It's all of this to
Yeah.
balance the books, right? But all of these
Yeah.
figures, it makes me look like, are you guys moving money just because you want to balance book? Is Gordon actually is Gomez actually 45 million player?
Yeah. I don't understand, man.
I'm not a
I
Liverpool
do
fan.
not understand.
I don't know anything about finances. I'll tell you that for true, right? But when you see numbers like this, right? For me, I don't really pay attention to it. It's just everybody wants to balance the book. Everybody wants to be on the green side of PSR, right? So nobody gets
Yeah.
fined or anything. So do whatever you can do. As long as it's legal, that tomorrow they come and they don't find you wanting, do whatever you can do. Do whatever you
Do
need to
it.
do it. As long as tomorrow when somebody go hack into your system, they don't find no shady dealings and you're not found wanting. Bro, they say now they catch 90.
Yeah.
So
I swear. I swear. I swear, honestly, I would catch anything for honestly. Nine
So
Steve. Now, before we round up the show, I want to just touch on this Man City being fined. They've been fined
They've
for
refined
22
um,
breaches.
for
I don't know if
22
if you
bridges.
have seen it now. So okay,
Have.
now they've been
I've
fined,
seen
and we
it.
all know
Okay.
we
Now
all know
they've
all
been
the things they
fined,
do.
and we all know this thing they do.
So what's your point? What do you have to say?
So what's your point? What do you have to say?
They said they were fined by 22. See, when it comes to Man City, but I'm tired, man. I'm tired. They seem to give them a slap on the wrist. They seem to be the only team who can go break the rules and get away with it. I don't know. I'm tired. I got the news. I was like, what's this, man? It's like they're anticipating other people to break the rules so they can punish them. And Man City can break the rules and they give them a pat on the back. You break 22 kickoff. 22 kickoff. I was so many, and at the end of it, and all you could find was £2 million. That's lunch money now. It's lunch money for Man City.
okay, can I come in here?
Okay. Can I come in here?
Please help me.
Okay, you'd have to. Okay, good. So for
Okay,
me,
you have
it's a case of what were the penalties for such breach. Now, every penalty, every crime has a penalty, right? You wouldn't the murder crime is not the same as stealing from the convenience store, right? So I'm not trying to defend Man City here. Nobody should take this as me being the devil's advocate. I'm just trying to see why. I'm just trying to understand or make people understand why maybe that 2 million as the fine is the case. So the question is, how much was the fine if you breached that rule? If you breached the kickoff thing, what was the fine? Was it 100,000? Was it 150,000? Right now, I know a lot of people are sad because it's Man City. If it was an Everton side or a Nottingham Forest side that were being slapped this because they breached the rule, not everybody will talk about it. Okay, it's just another rule. It's just another fine. But it's because it's Man City. We know there's these 115 charges looming over their heads, and we want blood. Fans, because we know what they've done to the league, so we want to see actual punishment, right? But let's not forget that the Premier League cannot, just because of a football club has breached a rule, just decide to put outrageous penalty there. There are rules, there are constitutions that have been set in stone prior to when the formation of the Premier League. So is it a case where they have to go like, 2 million was too small, let's go review it, where such a penalty now, instead of maybe 150,000 pounds for one breach, will not be like 200,000 or 300,000 pounds for one breach, so that if you breach 22 times, bro, you're coughing up big money, right? So it's a case of the penalty and the fine. Like I said, all crimes don't carry the same penalty, right? So it's just a case of the penalty and the fine. Maybe that's where he's landing up to 22 million. And a lot of us will say it's outrageous. It's something that they could pay off, because it's like a case in court where they'll tell you, they give you a 6 month jail time, or you pay 100,000 naira to walk away. And they'll be like, oh, I paid 100,000. And people will come out and say, that thing was too cheap. Now, was too cheap. But you forgot that under the law, that was the penalty. That was the penalty for that particular breach. So whilst it's not, we would say it's not enormous, or it's not big or huge enough, but we should not forget the place of where these crimes have their own fine. So now, should they up it? Should they review it? It's another question, because if your club is found wanting and they review it and say, okay, every time you breach, you're gonna pay 1 million every time you breach, and your club happened to breach for 5 times, bro, that's 5 M's, and maybe your club is in a place where finances are tight. Would you want to? So we have to, whilst we want to argue for the one hand, we have to argue also for the other hand and be like, yo, there has to be a place where they balance it, so that most clubs don't do it. Because now 2 M's, maybe another club can say, okay, and I can afford to pay 2 M's, I will not start in time. So it now goes back to the Premier League and say, okay, let's review these penalties and let's make it such a way that people cannot actually do it. They can, if they want to consider breaching this, then they know the amount of it's like players that they go now, they can't show studs because They are not sure if it's going to just be a yellow card or a red card. So it's
Yeah,
all about
true.
review. So for me, 2 M's is a very small money, bro. But
Honestly.
they've taken advantage of the situation. They've taken advantage of the situation.
Okay. Before we go on to just touch on this, a done deal has been made.
Just
This is one
on
player
this
I was also thinking as now we're going to go for. Dovbik. It's a year we go, coming from Fabrizio Romano. Anton Ataman Dovbik 2 years from a year we go. Verbal agreement in place between between clubs with Girona. Final details being sorted on a 34 million euros deal plus add-ons. Dovbik only wanted
add-ons.
Arsenal. He won't sign. He
Probably
said
only
to sign
wanted
5 year deal.
Arsenal. He won't sign. Expect to sign 5 year deal.
I am so disappointed that Arsenal did not even go for this guy
I am
at
so
all.
disappointed.
Like I am so disappointed. I said Arsenal did not even look into doing this deal because like 34 million euros is a cheap amount of money, man. Honestly, honestly, and Arsenal should be looking to do that deal. But no. So what do you have to say before we go? Did they freeze?
To be sincere with you, I think it's a deal that Arsenal should have taken full advantage of. Knowing fully well they were looking for an out-and-out striker. I think it's even more proven than Gukres. At least he was the top scorer in the La Liga, where he was on fire for his
Yeah.
team. Thought about in Girona, if I'm not mistaken. So uh, it is what it is. He's going to play in Roma. I think I wish him best of luck, but I think it's a big chance for Arsenal to get a quality striker. But the transfer window is still much open. Arsenal can still get another striker, but a big miss. He's a left footer. He gives you that Robin van Persie vibe,
Yeah.
very quality finisher, very quality finisher. That's what he's got, And for Arsenal, what Arsenal don't need a striker who's too intricate or who can do many things. No, what Arsenal need right now is a guy who can finish, and the boy can finish. He would have started into the Arsenal team, but it is what it is. He plays for Roma.
So
So
Adrex, before we go, what do you have to say? And please also tell people watching where to find you because and
Oh,
guys, if you are watching, please, I've pinned on the site, the channel. That is the URL for the channel for Drex. Please go there and show them some love, man. Let's push this community to the next level. At least we have 25 away from 250. So please let's show them some love. So Drex, what do you have to say
um,
before we go?
okay. For me, it's like what Nonso said. Nonso knows his team very well. So for me, I've already said it. Arsenal, they could do with a striker right now, not
Mhm.
all those supporting strikers. Nah, not Alves, not Jesus. Not you need somebody that will be in the box, keeper fumbles, pump, tap in. The man gets the ball on the edge of the box, drives he runs at his defender, drops the shoulder, creates a space for himself, goal. Not the one that will be thinking to now pass the ball to Odegaard again. And get that's why I said it. Okay, last season I was saying it on my channel. Like, if Arsenal wants to take it to the next level, go break the bank, go sign Isaac, or get somebody in
Honestly.
the see. The truth is, you might not get Isaac, but get somebody in the Isaac mode. The reason why I'm saying Isaac is because we know he's Premier League proven. We see what he can do, right? And also, I was even the only thing I have about Isaac, which every player does do though, is that when Isaac gets injured, it takes him a long time to get back, right? So, but for me, I know you wanted to talk about Ivan Toney, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah. I
know,
want to talk about Matoni as
yeah.
well,
Why?
but
Yeah, why?
time.
For me, I know this guy. So would he don't even look camera. The guy's looking at the camera like, yo, what's what Drex wants to say? Get an out and eye striker that would do the
Mhm.
job. Ivan Toney, I don't know why Arsenal are still not looking at him.
Honestly, 40 million, just 40 million.
It's not.
Come on.
It's not the end of the world. If you're not seeing what you want in the market, if you want to wait another season, right?
Maybe
if you're not seeing what you want in the market, if you want to wait another season, right?
Derek, maybe age.
Okay. No, go ahead. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Go ahead.
On his side,
No, go
Derek.
ahead. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Go
I think
ahead.
age is not on his side for Ivan Toney. So that could be the only Achilles heel.
He's 28. 28.
The thing about age being on people's side, right? I know how how fans, we as fans, I say it as well. We as fans, I know how we say, okay, age. Man is 28. Man has tools at his beck and call in terms of the players that would service. Bro, Arsenal provides. Arsenal they are supporting their wingers and the midfielder. They support. It's just that there's nobody there to finish the dinner. Arsenal cooks, delivers good meal, right? But it all goes back into the garbage bin because there's nobody there to actually finish this thing. So for me, and Ivan Toney, I know he's 28 years
I
old,
know he's
right?
28 years old,
The
right?
man can sign a 4 years
The man,
contract, right? 28, 29. That you maybe what okay, you sign the man this year and you end up winning the Premier League. Does
The
his
league.
age therefore does it at that point does it count anymore?
Not at all.
It will be said that Arsenal made a move for Tony and they got over the line with
And he
him.
won the league.
Tony,
And
and they
if and the man is like he has maybe another 2 years from so if Tony wants to leave, Tony knows that okay, bro, I'm not gonna be here for a long time. 3 years maximum, they would sell me. So let me make the best of my career right now, even if it's the financial part. Let me do what I need to do. But it will be Tony can actually say, okay, when I got to Arsenal, we won the league. And Arsenal fans can say, okay, we took a gamble with Tony or whatever the case, the line they want to use, and they won the league. So I know
That's
whilst we are trying to balance it, age and all of that, right? The question again is, does the player have the attribute that the manager is looking for in a striker to take him over the line? If the answer is yes, how about you test the waters? If you're not getting what you need in terms of a younger player, how about you test the waters and say, okay, let's take and look at the moment, Brentford might
look
even
at
do
the
a deal
moment.
for a lower price as to what they've been quoting.
yeah. It has been said they will reduce the price. They said it.
Except Arsenal are looking to take him on the free next season.
Yeah, but before
Except
we
Arsenal
leave,
looking to take him on the free next season.
before we leave, look at let's just let you know the guy can walk into any team in the world, Madrid, Barcelona. The guy is a finisher and a half. He can head the ball, he can control the ball, he's got a powerful control, he's a good penalty taker, the boy can strike the ball. Is there anything that Ivan Toney cannot do? You know, he
And
can
you
play as
don't
a
need
target man, he
pace.
can play as a
You don't
holding
need pace,
midfielder.
man. You don't need pace
You
now
don't
for
need
him in terms
pace,
of
man.
pace. You
Absolutely.
just
Now
need
for
him
The
to
guy, the guy is
be
like a
engage the
road boy.
defenders. Engage the defenders. The other guys will do the work for you.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Like
But
a Rolls
that
Royce.
would be
He plays like a
Now,
Rolls Royce. That's what he plays like.
yeah.
An expensive sort of all these sophisticated striker who plays with their brain. Quality player.
Yeah. Well, guys, we've come to the end of the show. I think that who is going to win the Balon d'Or, we're going to keep it for the debate show on Friday. And also, I have a very interesting one. There was an argument we had between who is a better player between Declan Rice and Fletcher. I was like, I'll just leave it for Friday. I was so mad when this guy was telling me Declan Rice is a far better player than Fletcher. But we are going to have that argument on the debate show on Friday. So, Rex, thanks
Uh,
for
no
coming on,
problem.
man.
Anytime, guys. Don't
Thanks for
forget
coming
to
up.
smash the like on the football fan zone. Don't forget if you haven't subscribed, you know what to do. Subscribe, turn on that
Please,
notification.
please.
The debates are gonna be. You would want to be part of those debates, and the man
Yeah,
gives you
we
as
want
it's
to be part of it.
happening, as it's happening. The man tends to give you the news. It tends to give you the
Mhm.
done deal. So stay locked on. It's got everybody in mind. If you're Real Madrid, you Barcelona, you Sporting, the man's got you AS Roma, the man's got something for you.
You're always welcome, man. You're always welcome. Please go to the this
Yeah, you can
you
catch me on
yeah,
Diop
yeah.
Sports. Just go on the URL right there, YouTube. If you just on YouTube, just put at Diop TV. You would see me. I would pop up right there. You would see my
Yeah.
face on the stream. If you don't see me, you see Tej. So guys, I think we're on the road to 250. A subscription would be highly welcome. And also, don't
Awesome.
we once the start of the season, once the season kicks off, for those of you that are into fancy Premier League, for those of you that like knowing stats on both teams to score a lot, we have a show called Possible Outcome that airs every Thursday, right? And you could catch it anytime. It's a show that gives you an insight what to expect for the weekend games, right? So we did it last season and a lot of people liked it, so we're keeping it locked on this season as well. So guys, don't forget, possible outcome, you wouldn't want to miss it. The first episode for this season will start maybe a Thursday before the community shield. We would put one up just to get
Okay.
everybody going for the new
Okay.
season, guys.
Okay. Now, so say bye bye to the viewers, man.
No, so the
Are you
Arsenal
there?
fan.
Yeah. What a show! It was.
So the Arsenal fan.
It was epic, man. Absolute gutsy. But we got there at the end. Great show, guys. Let's do this again. Happy to. Don't worry, you can follow me as well on my social media handle. Let's talk sports every other day of the week. _franchise. But thank you, Temba. It was like, come on, it was fire again. Just always nice having to do this with you every other day. Let's do it again.
All right. Don't worry. Okay, viewers, good night. I'll see you guys on the next one. You can start show. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.